What is going on there, gamers, gamettes, everybody between? It's your boy Kaiserenth, and I know what you're all thinking, and it resonates with me. It stings me to my core. The Mortal Kombat movie is a thing of, well, I don't want to say a tragedy or a travesty, but it's somewhere. It's in the ballpark. We'll put it to you that way. But welcome to yet another installment of the Clout.WAV podcast. This is episode 31, and I don't want to hear anybody saying we spelled episode wrong, because we spelled it right every single time. Yet some people, for some reason, I don't know. Maybe there's something in the water. Maybe they got something in their eyes. They can't see. They can't read. Maybe they think one of the E's is a 3 or the O is 0. I digress. We are here to divulge all the trade secrets this Thursday evening. But I am not alone. Well equipped, well armed to the teeth with the boy. Talk to him. Holla at him. Let him know your name. And we appreciate Tricky Gesture for the 27-month sub. Oh, good Lord. We appreciate the support. But anyways, Subtle Fraudulence, how you doing, man? You been all right?
I've been doing okay, besides battling the weird weather that we've been having where it's like 60 degrees one day, or it's 60 degrees in the morning, and then it's 60 degrees or 60 degrees at night, and then 80 degrees in between. So, good old Georgia weather, I guess. Summer is here, right?
It could be worse, man. Sometimes we be having a monsoon in the morning, and you be like, oh, man, the day's over. And then by 3 p.m., all of a sudden, you're like, where'd all this sun come out from? It was a whole slushy mudslide outside my driveway two hours ago. What? Now it looks like rain never existed in our state. I don't know. Our state's really weird when it comes to the weather. But
our state is 90% pollen right now. I'll tell you that much.
Just pollen, nothing else.
How
do you think it feels being the owner of a black car? I can't park nowhere outside, bro. Nowhere.
Hey,
it's
man,
not safe.
My car is close enough to that, anyways, being dark blue. So I understand the struggle.
Everyone, by the time I get back to my house, I'm looking like Wiz Khalifa because everything black and yellow on this ugly ass fucking car. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's get to the actual topping point. So let's face it, folks. The Mortal Kombat movie, whether you liked it, hated it, does not matter. There is only one thing that I think we all can agree on, provided we're all rational people. Still better than Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Like, I've seen some people out there spread the cappiest of cap. I'm talking about Mondo cap. I'm talking about more cap than Kirby right back at you with the cappies. And that's a whole race of cap, all right? That's a whole different breed, literally, of cap. And people saying that Mortal Kombat Annihilation is the superior movie, what you on? What are you looking at? And look, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Mortal Kombat storylines have never been good. What, you have the original games, which then most of the story was conveyed through bio cards and like character profile images and the uncanning as fuck endings for the arcade. Like, you can make some assumptions there, put some clues together, even though some people's endings may be contradictory to some other people. So it was kind of like, there's some stuff there. But there was lore to build on. The 3D games. I mean, you're not going to tell me the 3D games had a godlike story. That's what you're not going to do. You're not going to do that.
Hey, man, the story of Taven was very. It was a story, man. You got to meet
it was
Blaze
a story. I was
and-
about to say. Go ahead, regale me with the tale of Taven.
Hey, man, when you got two dudes who were in cryo sleep, and then one wakes up early, and he's like, you know what? I know all the secrets of the universe, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. And then the other one wakes up, he's like, but brother, we're supposed to save the universe.
Not destroy them. But hey, sometimes it just is what it is. It is what it is. You just you live, you die by it. But hey, that's neither here nor there. I just realized this fucking jacket make me look like I'm an employee of the month at fucking Mondo Burger, bro.
Hey, man, well, you got to give him the throwback right there.
Hey, man, shout out to the Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. How can I fuck your order up? Because it's Team Mondo Burger out here.
But before we get too past this whole MK Annihilation thing, I gotta say right now, yes, Mortal Kombat 2021 was a better movie. It was a better movie than MK Annihilation, even though it had story beats that were like, wait, where are we here? Like what is the pacing going on? Whatever, right? But MK Annihilation was a more memorable movie because of how fucking like awful some attempts on things.
Oh, these are facts. One of the worst things you can do as a cinema is be bad and boring.
Yes.
Annihilation was never. Look, there's a part where you think they beat Sindel off screen, and then she goes Wonder Woman and does like the pirouette, and then Jade just kind of saunters off and like legit. She's like, "Ooh, I'm spooky, sneaking out of the background," and it's just like, "The fuck's going on here? What are we doing right now?" You got the fucking wannabe reptiles making bat shriek noises like they're in the intro of Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo. Like, that's what it sounds like. And then Rayton's just giving them the goo-wop hands. They don't even do nothing.
Supposed to be Reptile or not, or Noob Saibot? Because I don't know, man.
No, Noob Saibot came out of Ermac, remember? And I'm like, huh?
It's all messed up, bro.
It's wild. And then Jax got the power of believing in himself because his metallic hands couldn't do damage, but his hands could do damage. Look, that whole movie is a whole myriad of problems, and we haven't even talked about too bad we'll die. Like that, there's a whole. It is a treasure trove of sadness, but hilarity. So let's actually.
This is all spoilers. This is all spoilers right now because since you mentioned Jax, I have to ask.
Before we go into the movie, once again, this is all adrenaline. No breaks, just nothing but spoilers. So if you somehow have found this podcast and you're not here as someone who has already watched the movie, but you care about the movie, if you fall in that demographic, we'll see you in about 20, 30 minutes, maybe an hour, because this might go for a little bit. But anyways, continue.
So what's a better storyline for Jax here? The story of, no, Jax, your true power was actually in your arms the whole time. You didn't need those metal contraptions that the government gave you. All you needed was law and order. or the storyline of, oh gosh, Jax, I'm so sorry that you lost your arms from Sub-Zero here, but now your Arcana can go ahead and manifest itself with these. Oh yes, these metal arms here. Look, Jax, your Arcana has not fully
biceps in disguise.
It's not fully manifested itself, but in the time of need, it will manifest itself, and then they become the government bought metal arms.
No, it wasn't even government bought. That my man got anchor arms from SpongeBob, bro.
He sure did. He got the metal version.
My man said, "These motherfuckers work." All right. So, anyways, well, let's dissect this movie from the top. So the movie opens in I want to say feudal era Japan. The Shirai Ryu are just doing their thing, living their life. Sub-Zero and the Lin Kuei goons, they pull up, start giving everybody the hands, the Mick Justice and the Mick Vengeance, and it's not looking good for them. They're serving up McDoubles into everybody. All of a sudden, Scorpion's family, his son and his wife, are like, "I don't understand what you're saying. You're speaking another language," because Sub-Zero pulls up speaking Chinese. Sub-Zero then realizes that, oh, they speak Japanese here? It just instantly flips his linguistics over to speaking Japanese.
They speak Japanese in Japan? Oh, let me go ahead and switch
it's like he was like calibrating. Like, I don't know if they got the Rosetta Stone or something over there in the Lin Kuei, but hey, they got it. Man starts saying, "I am bilingual. Let's go, baby." And then, he starts, playing mind games with the family. And then Scorpion gets this offbeat, like, not Spidey sense, but he's like, I'm thinking something's wrong. And then he hears screaming. So then he runs back, and then he finds that Sub-Zero turned his family into famsicles. Because they're just like, he made an art piece out of his family. They're art sculptures, if you will. And then Scorpion's like, "No, I can't believe this." And then Hanzo and him, they have a pretty well choreographed fight scene. Maybe a little bit too many cuts for my taste, but hey, not a bad fight scene. I'm not gonna huff and puff about it. What did you think of the opening fight scene?
Wait, pause real quick. Refresh my memory here, because I feel like maybe something was cut here. The scene that's in the trailer that they always show of this moment is the screen door and the blood and someone getting stabbed at the door. It's supposed to be like Scorpion's family getting like murdered by Sub-Zero on the door. That didn't happen, did it?
Well, the reason why I think that wouldn't have happened, like I don't know if I've seen that trailer, but if that is in the trailer, I'm sure they didn't do that because it's exactly what they did in Scorpion's Revenge, the animated movie that came out last year. So it'd be kind of weird to just do it twice, two different reincarnations of the story. But there's more inconsistency things that happen in this movie than
I
something
mean,
that
you can
happened
do
from
the
the
same thing
trailer.
twice. Like it's consistent. Like that's good consistency though. That's the story. But like yeah, because it was in the trailer, and so I was like thinking that there was going to be this gruesome death of his family that's either going to be shown, for like edgy purposes, or it was going to be like the screen door effect of like, oh no, they've been brutally murdered, and then Scorpion like sees blood on the floor or something like that, and it's like my family, and whatever. But instead, he just showed up and they were frozen, and I
Yeah, it
was
was just
really
frozen on
confused.
his doorstep, and I was just like, all right, that's strange. But like,
Yeah, like when
he was
he
threatening them
killed the
inside
dudes
the house, so I'm
outside,
like, did you freeze them inside the house, and then did you have your henchmen
and then
pick up the family and then put it outside, or did you lure them outside and then freeze them? Like, I would have loved to seen that. Like, the dynamics of this setup are quite interesting, and I would like to see the inner workings of it. But I understand details. We don't need them. So, anyways, the fight happens. Once again, too many cuts for my liking. All in all, good
well,
fight.
the fight was good. The fight was good. I didn't give my opinion on that yet. So like the fight was good. I liked the fight scene. The choreography was good for that scene. Mind you, you had two dudes who were actual like martial artists. The guy who played Sub-Zero is in a lot of he's in a lot of like Tony Jaa movies, I believe, and then some of his own. But like he's in a lot of like kung fu movies. And the other one, the guy who played Scorpion, I believe he's also in like a few martial arts movies that I can't think of right now. But yeah, both of them are martial artists. So this was exactly what you would expect from a scene of like two martial artists fighting each other in this MK universe, and it was cool. Like it was really nice. Scorpion. Okay, but first the garden tool thing in the beginning. Scorpion's wife is she's gardening, right? And I see the tool and I'm like, is she gardening with a kunai? Like, what is that? No, that's a garden tool. Huh. Interesting. This is foreshadowing, obviously, because I keep zooming in on it, but I'm like, weird. Okay. And then when Scorpion comes out and he sees his family and whatnot, he arms himself for battle. He takes the tool from the ground and uses it as a kunai. And I'm like, it's very convenient that that tool was shaped like a kunai, but why wouldn't he just have a kunai on him? Like he was supposed to be a ninja, and he knew that there was something dangerous that was going to happen soon. So like, he also went out to hunt, I think. So I was
No,
like,
he went out there carrying two things of water. He was just getting water for the family. He was just gonna
okay,
be
yeah,
like, he was just gonna go in there, fill up one bucket, fill up the other bucket. Just exactly like you saw in Mulan. Let's get down to business where they were carrying those things.
oh
Exactly like
yeah,
that. Man was coming back to the family. Heard drop the water, bro. He knew things were about to be on and popping. So like I
I
said,
was still expecting him to be armed. It was odd that like a ninja who knows that he's being hunted and knows that there's like a rival clan and everything, and that he's the head of his ninja clan who.
but he didn't seem like he seemed like this whole thing just caught him off guard.
Where's the rest of the Shirai Ryu? Anyways, yeah, I don't know. It was weird. Like he seemed like he was caught off guard by the attack, but after the attack, he was just kind of like, "Yeah, I understand. I know why you're here. Now, you've dishonored me. You've like attacked my family. I'm going to kill you guys now." And then the fight scene happened, and that part was cool, where he was like killing the random Goonies that the Lin Kuei master brought upon Scorpion and whatnot. That was all cool, but yeah, it was weird. It was like, where are the other ninja on Scorpion side? Like, where's the rest of the Shirai Ryu? And also, like, why was he just like he was just chilling in the forest getting water? Like, nothing bad could happen here. And I'm like, uh,
Well, like I said, I think this was an attack that he didn't know because remember, Sub-Zero still had to announce himself as Sub-Zero, which means Scorpion in this incarnation seems like the Lin Kuei and the Shirai Ryu don't have beef like that, where they're very familiar with each other. So once again, like I said, I'm not gonna hold it up on that.
I will.
There's too many
Because
other problems for me to hold it up on this.
that's one of the major problems of the movie, where this is an example of a scene that needed more context, because the general problem with video game movies, or like video game movies, is that they make them with the idea that you're a diehard fan and you know the lore, so
Not
you
this
don't
one.
need to. Yeah, you
Not
don't
not
need to
this
do
one.
it for the movie.
Because
Yeah,
I think this one right here actually answers the question. Like
they answered it bad.
no, because they had, like, he's coming here because, you know, he's representing his
Well,
boys on Team Outworld, and he knows
yeah.
Scorpion's a chosen one. Like, they answer
Well,
this one.
I don't know. Like, if that's the reason why Sub-Zero showed up then that's a little bit confusing with when they told it and all that stuff. But there was not a lot of context on the beef between the clans, and they presented it as this is clan beef, Shirai Ryu versus Lin Kuei. But Scorpion represents the Shirai Ryu by himself for some reason that we don't know. And so whenever they mention Hanzo Hisashi, they mention Shirai Ryu. He is a ninja, part of the Shirai Ryu clan. They don't have to mention any of that if he's the chosen one. Like they can just be like, yeah, Hanzo Hisashi, the chosen
But
one.
you gotta remember, this is the same movie where a pedophile could be the chosen one. So what is a chosen
No,
one?
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's
Like,
yeah.
look,
Like,
there's a whole lot. Let's get past this, okay? Because like, there's too much for us to spend talking about this one thing.
real quick, it was just a moment where it seemed like they were like, yeah, you know what the beef really is. You played the video games. And it's like, okay, but this is a movie made for people who didn't play the video games or don't know the lore, because those are most of the people who are going to pay attention to this movie and like what's going on, or like watch it, in theaters. Those are the ones who are going to give you your real money. Lore monsters are probably going to like pirate it or something,
All right. Anyways, so we move past that. We time skip to the future. We meet Art Lean, if he was Asian, Cole Young. Give it up for Cole Young, everybody. Some of y'all may be saying, who the fuck is Art Lean?
Hey, who's this guy? MMA fighter? I don't remember him in Mortal Kombat. I wonder, maybe he's in the later games I didn't play.
Nah, he's not. This is a Mortal Kombat 2021 original, just like Art Lean was a 1995 original. You may be saying, who the hell is Art Lean? You remember that black dude who kind of looked like low-budget Charles Barkley who fought Goro and got slapped around and died? Yeah, that was Art Lean. Cole Young is about as competent as Art Lean, and we will be breaking that down very soon.
I didn't know that guy was legitimately a original character in the original movie, but they kept like putting like a focus on him, like he was an NPC deep in like the MK1 like lore that I didn't know about, and I was just like, okay, but he died. Like he got jobbed real quick, and they're like, yeah, he's about to beat up Goro. Yeah, he gave him a hit. Oh, that's a creature. Well, we knew you, friend. I'm sorry. And then Johnny got like real mad, and I was like, was I supposed to know that they were close?
You weren't. You weren't. But anyways, Cole Young, this is an interesting character because he starts off and it basically shows that he's had accolades in the past where he used to be a real one with the hands. He used to be an MMA world champion, real high level stuff, very proficient in fisticuffs.
So they tell us. So they
never show us, but so they tell us, right? So then he goes
Cole
out
is
there.
Trash.
So he goes.
I'm spoiling it now.
So he goes out there, and I guess it's like tune-up fight for his comeback. And, he's like fighting for like $200. Like he's on poverty status right now. And he goes out there and he loses. And not only does he lose, he submits. He taps to a regular dude. Regular Jimbo Fisher guy. Jax.
Who's a big MMA person right now that we can think of, like fight-wise? Like who's...
Nah, man. This dude, the dude he was fighting, wasn't nobody big.
No, I mean like who's a big person now?
He had the Conor McGregor body type.
There we go. No. Okay, so like let's say Conor McGregor, as you know him now, somehow, some way, like a few years later, is fighting in an underground fight for $200, and he loses. Wouldn't you want to see like how, like at least a clip of like how he got there from being the champ?
Anyways, they don't talk about that. They just then Jax apparently shows up to see the fight. Jax then pulls up to Cole and he goes, "Hey Cole, I heard you got this gnarly tattoo. You used to be a big champ, doing all this." And he starts once again rambling and reinforcing that he had accolades in the past. And then Cole's even like, "I'm not the fighter I used to be." And then Jax kind of like, I could kind of tell that anyway. Anyways, so I heard you got this dragon tattoo, man. Kind of gnarly, right? And he's just like, So he's like, "Hey man, can I see it?" And then Cole's like, "That's
Here's the
weird."
tattoo, sir.
He's like, "That's weird." And then he shows it to him. And then his daughter, Cole's daughter, goes, "That's not a tattoo. That's a birthmark." And then Jax goes, "I see. Really now? Okay."
Did they ever actually like say like, "Hey, yeah, I'm Cole. This is my daughter and this is my wife"? Because I
No,
don't
no,
remember that.
he never explicitly said it, but these are the assumptions that we just have to make.
That's why I
Anyways,
thought it was his sister the whole time until like the end of the movie because they don't explain it. And she's this like young girl who's there, but Cole also looks like a pretty like young like dude. And so I was like, oh, that's like his younger sister or whatever. Oh, also, we forgot to mention this. Here's the most important part that we forgot to mention in the first half. Scorpion had a baby who was left alive by the Lin Kuei. Raiden
because
shows up and takes his
he put
baby.
them in like in a safety bunker underneath the house.
The baby?
Yeah, remember they put him in a basket and then they hit her.
I didn't know they hit. I didn't realize they hit the baby. I thought they just put the baby in the basket and then left the basket there. And then Lin Kuei were just like, "We're not going to kill a baby."
No,
Then,
they put the basket out of the way and hit it, and then Raiden found it, and that's how that. Anyways, details that we don't need to talk about.
So yeah. Anyways, the baby, Raiden shows up and takes the baby and then leaves. So it's like the way they cut the movie. It's like Raiden takes his baby and then leaves, and then you see Cole. So I'm like, oh, this is baby grown up. Spoiler alert. No.
Well, here's the thing.
Not.
When we were watching, I was like, that can't be baby grown up because remember, this was in feudal era Japan where that fight took place. How can a feudal era baby be in modern day technology? That's not how that works.
Look, man.
So that was the first thing I was going to say. If it is, I'm leaving. If you tell me that baby is Cole, I'm walking out of here.
You say that, but
Sub-Zero doesn't age.
Lived.
I know.
Yeah, Sub-Zero lived and didn't age. And it was just like, that's also not explained at all. They were just like, yeah, Arcana, whatever. And Sub-Zero lived from feudal era Japan. That's why when it came to time, I turned my brain off. And I was just like, okay, they're showing me baby. Now they're showing me Cole. They want me to think baby is Cole. But Cole is here with child. And I'm like, okay, is that his younger sister? Is this dude that's talking to him his like foster dad? Like, what's going on here? And then they're like, yeah, you got to fight, bro. And I'm like, okay, he knows this guy, but again, not really telling me about the oh, hey, there's Jax. Anyways, fuck all that other stuff. And so then, yeah, so whatever, right? The little girl's his daughter. She looks like she's supposed to be like
13 or 14,
yeah,
12, somewhere in there. But so anyways, they end up leaving and they're like gonna go get celebratory ice cream. I don't know why they're getting celebratory ice cream because Cole definitely just got his face fucking punched in.
Fucking lost.
Like, he definitely was on the L train. Maybe it was pick me up ice cream. Like, oh, Cole, you're sad. Here's some ice cream. Here you go, buddy. And like maybe it was like something like that. But anyways, they're getting ice cream, and the next thing you know, there's a hailstorm, and then Cole's like, it's July. Why is it snowing in July? And then Friday the 13th happens. It's Sub-Zero. And there's a poor man in a phone booth who comes out of like he's just like, yeah, I'm living my best life. I'll be home for dinner, mom. And then like hangs up the phone, taps out the phone, dude gets harpooned by an icicle. Just
icicle.
He just dies. Just civilians getting duggied. Hailstorm pelting everybody. Sub-Zero shows up, starts freezing the table, and like, oh, he's gonna try to kill Cole's family. And then Jax just pulls up in an Escalade and says, get in the car if you want to live. Like straight out of Terminator.
Yeah.
The whole family just pours into the car. They start dipping. And apparently Sub-Zero can either teleport or he's doing his back forward, his sliding all around the back alleys of the streets.
Yeah.
Because he gets in front of the Escalade after like about a 2 or 3 minute chase in which Jax becomes an exposition dump because he's saying, that mark on you, Cole, it's not a birthmark, Cole. It means you've been chosen. Anybody with that dragon mark is chosen to fight in the tournament of Mortal Kombat. What? And that thing has been sent here to kill everyone who has that birthmark. How do I know? Because I have it, Cole. And he just like flashes that he has the dragon tattoo as well.
Right. Meanwhile, Cole the whole time is just like, who are you? What is it? I don't understand.
And he's like, don't worry, Cole. I'm here to explain. Special Forces, Cole. And then Cole's like, all right, well, that's weird. So what the fuck is going on here? And then like he's like, that thing has been sent here to kill anyone with the mark, which means they're going to do anything they can to get your attention to kill you, which means they're going to kill your family, Cole. So then like Sub-Zero jumps out in front of him. Shh, shh, ah. So then they hop out, and then my man pulls out the AR. Jax pulls out the heavy artillery, and then and then tells Cole, "Hey, bruh, I can take him." And Cole, realizing, yeah, he's gonna kill my family. My man just hopped up in the Escalade, put that thing in reverse, said, "All right, Jax, you got it. Black Lives Matter," and peeled on out of there, bro.
No, man, no. Jax was like, get in the car and go, Cole. I got this. Get in the car. Get in the car. And I was like, okay, well, he's gonna listen to Jax because
Jax is the only person who's got him this far.
And as far as the situation goes, he is seeing the magical craziness go on. He is seeing, the snow and the icicles and whatnot. He has no reason to not trust Jax at this point.
And you have to remember, Jax literally just saw this man get beat up by regular human. Cole would probably do nothing but get in the way and die immediately, so he tells him to get out of there.
Well,
and then Jax follows him into a warehouse. Sub-Zero gets the jump on him, freezes the gun. They throw hands. Sub-Zero grabs his arms, freezes them, shatters them, and then kicks this man like 2 stories down a parking garage. My man Jax just laying there, no arms, face down, ass up. And Sub-Zero's like, no reason to double tap. Mission accomplished.
Yeah. I mean, look, I will say right now, in Sub-Zero's defense in this scene, when that man's arms got ripped off, he like, and he fell, he hit his head, and then was on the ground. That man was not moving. And so it was like, yeah, you know what? There's no need to do anything else. And then he just slides off. So yeah, I believe it. I was like, yeah, Jax is dead. I was like, if I wasn't watching this movie knowing this is MK and that Jax would show up later, I'd be like, yeah, that dude is definitely dead. And no, he didn't die because of some bullshit.
We will get to that later. We are going to tell the movie in the order that it happens. That way we don't forget anything.
All right. So that works.
So at this point, Cole ends up dropping his family off and then going to go find Sonya because Jax said, you got to link up with Sonya. She knows more about this crazy stuff than I do. So then he shows up to a place, and then Sonya just gives Cole the hands again in like a 2-second little kerfuffle where he's like, huh? Leg grab. What are you doing? I was setting. Then, Sonya's like, who are you? And then he's like, I was looking for Sonya Jackson. And then she's like, oh, okay, come on in. So then she does another exposition dump of the Mortal Kombat tournament. We found ruins and the hieroglyphics, even though the hieroglyphics literally just said Mortal Kombat in English text, but backwards. And it was like, yeah, Mortal Kombat. Yep. Then they talk about there's an Aztec god, talk about Kotal. Then they're talking about the Matoka warriors and how Nightwolf is just like this dude in the history book with his face with the stoic pose of like, it's literally the Native American. Yeah, it's literally the Native American teardrop image, but with face paint on. And I'm like, all right, we're really doing things out here, I guess. So then I'm like, so if the special forces have all this R&D, they should be pretty much well equipped to deal with any situation and have the funding to do all this. Then you find out that Sonya and Jax at this point are pretty much huffing it. Like, I don't know if they're AWOL. I don't know if they're superior officers or, if they're subordinates.
Another situation where we needed some context.
Like, are the special forces down bad due to COVID restrictions? Like, yeah, because apparently they're broke, they're poor, and they have no financing or funding. I don't know if this is like an indie project or maybe, I don't know, maybe Jax and Sonya
except for Sonya, because her like entire home is filled with all kinds of high-tech expensive things.
Exactly.
It's just in the basement.
Yeah, that's how I was like, what, they got an Indiegogo for this shit? They got a Kickstarter? Like, what's going on here?
No sense. No one ever explained why they don't have money. No one ever explained why they're special forces and there was no special force that helps them in this situation when they know that there is a worldwide catastrophe
and an imminent threat.
Yeah.
But even if you push past that, you may be saying, why are you bringing their finances? How do you know they're broke? All right, listen to me. So we get to a point to where for some ungodly reason, Kano is, chained up there. And you're like, wait, why is he chained up there? Well, can't wait to hear this explanation.
By the way.
Yeah, he's just chained up in the dark off screen while she's doing this whole exposition. And then you just hear a voice off screen, like basically saying, "Oh, well, shut the fuck up, you wanker," some shit. And then he's like, "Who the fuck is this guy? And why is he chained up?" He's like, "Oh, that's Kano. He's some war dealer, arms dealer, thug, murderer, rape, all the derogatory shit you can say about a man who has a criminal
He's a
backlog."
part of the Black Dragon. He is
Yeah,
Kano, their
yeah,
leader.
more exposition dumping, and then
Mhm.
Kano's like, "Love you too, sweetheart." Cheeky tongue in cheek Kano. And then it gets to a point to where Cole's
Wait,
like,
pause. We got to tell the story of why Kano is there. You see, Sonya was on
"That's
her
what I was getting
way.
to."
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you were about to skip it over. So
No,
no, go ahead.
I'm getting to the part where Cole's like, "So why is he here?" And then
Mm.
Sonya goes, "All right, well, I was on a mission because some other dude had a dragon tattoo, and I was like, all right, I need to go meet him because obviously it's very important that we get all these people together because I feel as though there's going to be another Mortal Kombat tournament, and I feel like all the people with dragon tattoos are chosen, so I need to get us all on the same page." So I went to go look for him, and by the time I got there, I see Kano laughing while the dude's throat is slit, and because Kano killed him, he inherited his dragon mark, and I'm like, huh. Seems like these chosen
Remember,
ones are pretty trash.
Sonya knows that when you kill a chosen one, you get their marking, and she knows exactly how to get a marking. This is important information for later. For Sonya.
Which is kind of funny because you figured if she knew that's how it worked, she would have just killed Kano, no problem, and then
Yeah,
got the mark. But once
yeah.
again, she's dealing with forces that are outside of her control. So maybe she was just like trying to play safe rather than be
Plus, they
sorry.
would have actually no, because Jax.
Yeah, because she also talked
Jax.
about Jax killed a Motoko warrior who had I don't even know what the beef would have been there, but apparently dude had
Wait.
magic powers, was flipping out, and Jax put him down, and then he got a mark. So I mean, you had enough to go on. Like you've tested this hypothesis at least a couple of times to where this is how this works. But once again, maybe
Yeah,
she
but
just didn't want to fuck with
she
the
would have
natural order of
robbed
things.
us of the best character in the entire movie. So you don't
That movie would have
you
been
don't
some.
want to
That
do
movie
that.
would have been some uber dry had they not done that. But anyways,
Kano was the movie, guys. Like Kano is
so
the reason.
while they're talking, you hear some shady movement, some weird noises, and oh no, Reptile's here, and he's moving around like a xenomorph. And this is probably actually outside of his human form. This is probably the worst he's looked since Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of the meh, crab version of him from like Deception, like where he's got the little crab fighting. So I'm not a fan of that one. I'm not a fan of like the Mortal Kombat X, like weird. Let me touch your skin. I'm not a fan of
You
that
talking
one.
about the Saurian version, the reptile?
Yeah, the Saurian race. Like, I'm glad they got Sorry in their name because that boy, they look like some trash. But anyways,
Look, man, MK4 is Reptile Prime when he's like half man, half reptile the whole time, and so he's just like a man with like green scales and like a weird mouth and shit.
look,
That
I don't
is
even like. I'll
a
even
peak
take that one
design.
over the one in this movie. Like the only reason why Mortal Kombat Annihilation is mad because that looked like a really really bad. Like if they tried to make the Geico gecko a fucking like CGI like horror monster.
I do like the concept in the first movie where Reptile was like a dead body who had this creature, and the creature fell into the body and then became like a like
A host.
man. Yeah, like a host or whatever that fought or whatever. That's a cool spin on that. In this movie, Reptile's like design, I mean, was
He
cool,
is naked.
but
No, he is naked lizard man from Soul Calibur.
yeah, he's lizard, but he was basically Lizard Man from Soul Calibur. He wasn't really they took the whole idea of like him being like full Saurian and like ignored the first few games where he was like a man. So that's fine. I can deal with that. But they kind of like introduced him in like a really shitty way. It was like they're having a conversation, and then all of a sudden, like there's an invisible thing trying to kill Kano, and they're like, "Wait, what the fuck?" And then and then they use visual tricks to figure out what this is, and it happens to be a giant lizard that's trying to kill this man. They're like, "Oh, what the hell?" And then I think like what Sonya said, like, "Oh, it's reptile." I'm like, "Oh, so we just know that."
Dude, I don't even think she said red. Damn.
It's a reptile.
Yeah, I think she said some shit like that. But anyways, so what they do is they no, I think I think it cut to Shang Tsung and he said, I sent Reptile to deal with it or some shit like that.
Yeah, I sent my assassin to deal with it.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, it's reptile. And it's like, okay.
So
Okay.
how they're able to track it is Kano lights a flare, stabs a knife through the flare, stabs the now flare knife in the reptile's back. So now there's just like a floating flare firing around. They end up killing it by having Kano punch it in the heart, do the heart rip fatality. And this is the one thing I will give the movie credit for. When he ripped it out, the musical sting went down, you know, like the old Mortal Kombat fatalities where it's like dun dun dun. They did that, and I thought it was kind of interesting. I don't know if they ever did that during the rest of the film, but that was the only time I noticed it. Anyways, Kano wins, blah 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 blah. So then Kano's like, yeah, I know where to go because I've stolen things from here. I used to run drugs out of there. It's my old trap house.
We gotta do this justice. She's like, yeah. So now we have to find Raiden's temple, and Kano goes, Raiden's temple? I know exactly where that is. I stole from a place like that, but I didn't go inside because I've heard some lore about that and blah blah blah. But hey, I know someone with a plane who can fly us there.
And I'm like, all right, you know someone with a plane.
I was like, Sonya,
these are the special forces. Can't y'all just go outside and be like, all right,
like,
I'm a commandeer plane.
It's like, this dude is a prisoner, and they're like, no, never mind.
And it's just like, how, like, special force, are y'all broke? Because y'all don't make contact with a fucking thing the entire movie.
Bro, like, she never answered to anybody, her and Jax. First off, Jax is missing for like what had to be.
Yeah, you thought Sonya would be more concerned about this, but she doesn't ask about Jax. Like, I think she sees Jax before she asks about him, actually. Like, she sees him in the hospital bed and later on in the Raiden's temple, but they're on their way to Raiden's temple. And then Liu Kang just kind of shows up and hits Kano casually with a fire blast, with a fireball, bloop. And then Kano's like,
okay, real quick for this scene. Well, one, they're like in the desert, in the middle of like nowhere, and they look and they see the sunset, and Liu Kang just starts like walking of like I knew you guys would be here sort of thing, even though Liu Kang is supposed to be finding them, as we find out a little bit later. But Kano pulls out a knife, I believe. So Liu Kang shoots him with a fireball, thinking Kano is gonna try and attack him, but nothing was said. No action. Like, Kano didn't try to like lunge at him or anything, which Liu Kang has proven that he could deal with that. He just threw a fireball at this dude, and Kano just lived. And I'm like, so you can control the heat on the fireball because you hit him point blank. He like blocked the thing with his like, hey man, whoa, and it was like, that's fire.
Yeah, and then Kano's like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah,
like, we're not gonna breeze past. Like, you didn't just chuck hot plasma at my face. Like, what? And then in the middle of him being like bewildered by the fact of what just happened to him, Liu Kang just puts his hand on his shoulder and goes, you have much to discuss. Please come to the temple. And Kano's just like, what the fuck's going on with you people?
Right. So Cole is supposed to be the everyman character that's like, hey, I'm the audience, so I'm going to say the things the audience would believe or would say in this situation. But Kano was the only one that actually said all that stuff. He was, because like all this weird shit is happening, and he's just like, what the heck is going on? What is this? Who is this guy? So we're just going to follow him now? Like, he was that guy. And Johnny Cage would have been that character also. And this goes back to the article we talked about where they're like, oh, his charisma would have been too much for the screen, but it's like clearly not, because you put it all in Kano, which is fine, but you could have had two people like Johnny Cage and Kano like bantering would have been great. If Cole had some of that, that would have been better than like, oh, that guy's there. Okay. Anyways, I wonder what's happening with his family. Or anyways, let's go to this temple. Liu Kang walks him in there. Kung Lao is there. Liu Kang tells him that he was going around looking for the fighters because the tournament is going to happen in like a week. And so Raiden sent Liu Kang out, who he was training Liu Kang and Kung Lao this whole time. He says, Liu Kang, go find the rest of them. So he finds Jax shortly after Jax got his arms ripped off, because he's like, oh, I showed up a little too late. And so he brings Jax back to the temple, and Jax is being nursed to health. And Jax has these like weird like metal like arm skeletons, and like, so Liu Kang was like, "Don't worry, we have a method that will heal him." So I'm thinking the whole time, this is the method in play. Like they're like doing some sort of magic that's giving him these arms or the skeleton. And he's going to
Nope, it
grow
was just
arms based off
steampunk
of that.
technology.
Nah, it was his ability. His special ability was to grow the arms, and I'm like, we just glossed over that.
Well,
Like
no, not the first time.
until the end. Until the end.
And not the first time. Because remember, they had those they had the monks walking around with gears and stuff, which is why I thought they built those. They
That
built the
same.
Gen 1s.
Same.
So I'm pretty sure
And
that
he also had, like, he had screws and stuff in his body. So I was like, someone had to put that there.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that was not his arcana. His arcana wasn't until the rock thing.
Oh, you're fucking lying to me. Like I can't believe this garbage. Not even the content. If this was not even MK related, I would still be like, you got like, no, thank you, please, like do better. Like you have all the this is the first time in the movie, one of a few times where it's like you have all the creativity in the world to put into this movie because it's like whatever you want it to be, and you thought that was like
Well,
the
here's the thing:
cool thing.
the whole movie is predicated on a problem that shouldn't have to be a problem because there's a character that you may know as Raiden, and
Oh
this
my
might be the worst
god.
Raiden that we have ever had.
Oh
And this
my
isn't about how he
god.
says names or how he says certain words or his pronunciation and enunciation on certain things. I don't give a fuck about that. I know this is not a movie that's supposed to win Grammy Awards. I get all that. Yada yada. Academy Awards, excuse me. I get all
It
that.
is.
All right. I get it. I get it. But there's a thing that happens that we'll get to where this is the dumbest version of Raiden we have ever had. Period. Bar none. Anywho,
I mean, yeah, to go with where we're going in the story now, anyways, they walk in and Raiden comes out. So after they see Jax, Sony comes through and talks to him like, "Oh my god, what's up? What's going on?" Um, they talk. Well, Liu Kang talks about like how he found Jax and all of that jazz, and then they go out. Kung Lao is there. He's like, we got to train you guys. And Raiden comes out and tells him a little bit more about the tournament. And this is all like boring exposition stuff. And I was distracted the whole scene because Katana's fan is in the background, and I went into the movie thinking Katana was going to be a character because Melina is there. No, Katana is a fan that's in the background that's not explained as to why it's there. Or like if something happened to her, it was just like, "Hey guys, you see this? Isn't that cool?"
nah, she's gonna be a chick in one of the later movies who's gonna walk by that fan and just start using it, and then her arcane is just gonna kick in and she's gonna have wind powers.
I'm mad because you're right.
But here's the thing.
That's
Here's the thing. Is Melina gonna technically be based on a clone, or are they gonna make another clone? Because
and then say
it's a
this is
clone.
like the
Because
new Melina.
yeah,
Oh no, is she gonna be white? Oh no.
like it's Melina, but this is gonna be Melina too. But whatever. We'll get
They're
to
gonna
that.
like change her skin color and everything and just be like, yeah, this is a clone of oh no. Melina was actually cool in this movie. I'm not gonna lie. Like I like the
Dumb as
design.
bricks, though. Dumb as bricks.
Jobbers. Like everybody who was on Shang Tsung's side who wasn't Sub-Zero was a jobber, and I don't
Jobbers
understand
squad.
why.
But yeah, so if we move past that, right? Let's talk more about the jobber. So we're gonna skip a few things because we've spent here 45 minutes and we're barely like
Yeah.
40 minutes into the movie. So we're gonna start speed running the rest of this. All right. Sorry about
Let's
that.
hit hard like plot points here.
So you find out that Shang Tsung's like, all right, so instead of waiting for the tournament, we're just gonna show up to Raiden's house and just beat them up and kill them now. And then Cabal's like, that sounds like a pretty good plan. Then Raiko shows up, Melina shows
No,
up,
it was
Tara
later.
shows up.
It was later. First, he was like Sub-Zero. Yeah. Wait. Oh no. You're right. You're right. Sorry. I'm sorry. He did squat up the first time for the invasion thing. So
Yeah.
Reiko shows up. Who wasn't Reiko? He just wasn't Reiko.
No, he was played by Nathan Jones, who was just playing his WWE wrestling character.
Honestly,
Big
yes.
Torment. That's basically what he was.
Honestly,
And
yes.
so they all kind of like pull up at first, and then Raiden's like,
Oh, Reiko has Shao Kahn's hammer. By the way, that's just not explained in the movie.
I don't even think it's Shao Kahn's hammer. I just think it's his own hammer because it
Well, they
broke way
show
too
Shao
easy.
Kahn in like when they get to the temple. Oh, we forgot this. When they get to the temple, they show that Mortal Kombat has this like illustrious history,
Yep.
and they show all these like they show the fight
They show
of
Great
Sub
Kung Lao.
Zero. Yeah, they show Great Kung Lao. They show the fight of Scorpion and Sub Zero, the like movie version of it, and they show Shao Kahn like fighting something, and they while narrating about like the past and everything as like a Shao Kahn exists. There's no like, is he alive? Is he dead? Or anything like that. But he has existed through time, and we know of him. Anyways, isn't this really cool? Don't you recognize that guy? And then it just like leaves that alone. And then his hammer is with Reiko, who is just a dude who just walks in and like he doesn't have lines in the movie. So it was just like
He
it was
just
just really
grunts and
odd.
screams, goes ah!
Yeah.
But otherwise, so they're getting ready to squad up, and they show up, and Raiden's like, "All right, that's neat. Fuck all that." And he puts an electric barrier around the temple, so Shang Tsung and the
Oh,
Goon Squad can't get in.
Cabal. This is actually a part of the movie that really like bugs me. Kano, they established that Kano is part of Black Dragon, right? Cabal shows up to the meeting of all the goons, and he specifically says, "Yeah, leave Kano from me.
No,
I
that's
have a bone to pick with
that's
him."
the second meeting.
No.
Yes, the second meeting
Oh,
because remember, Shang Tsung's
yes.
like, "How do we get the
Okay.
barrier down?"
Okay. Yes. Yes. Yes.
And he
Yes.
said,
Okay.
"Leave that
Okay.
to me."
Wait. So Reiko was not in the first one. He was in the second one.
Yeah, at first it was just
It
Melina,
was just Melina and
Natara, and what's his fuck?
no Natara.
No, Natara.
Natara
All right, point,
Natara came
it
at the
doesn't
end.
matter. We just know Shang was there, okay? Can we just get that?
It
Shang was the
it
only
was
one
the
that
base.
talks.
It was Shang, it was Melina, and then it was Sub-Zero. That's it. They all the three of them showed up. He's like, this is all that should suffice for killing these Earthlings
So
in Raiden's
they
temple.
show up. They show up. Raiden puts up the barrier, and then they're like, "Ah, damn, curses foiled again." So they just kind of fuck off. And then at that point,
They didn't
Kano.
establish that Raiden's a god. They never like they don't mention elder gods. They don't mention gods.
No, they mentioned
They
gods. They said God and protector of Earthrealm. Liu Kang said
okay
that.
okay.
So
So
they do
one
that.
line.
Liu
Okay, I got
Kang
it.
and Kung Lao have to train Cole and Kano. And then Sonya's like, "I'm ready to help." And then they were like,
They're like, Sony, you don't have a mark. And this is where we all like no one knew this in the movie up until now. They're like, yeah, Sony, you don't have a mark. And I'm like, wait,
"That means you can't participate in the tournament, nor can you use our training facility." And she was like, "Huh?" And then, yeah, Kung, like, you thought Kano or somebody would be saying this. No, this was Kung Lao and Liu Kang. Like, yeah, let's not get out of here. And then,
Also, why would Sonya believe that she could be a part of this if she doesn't have a mark when she did the research? She is the lore master of the movie. She knows all the lore of what's going on, and she literally shows that she has like all kinds of dedication to research on what this is, and she didn't know that she needed a mark.
I mean, she probably didn't know that she needed to mark the train. That's different.
Definitely would need to know that you need a mark to get into the temple of the man who is like, I'm training the Earth Warriors and the chosen warriors to save
But
us.
she was in the
Chosen warriors
temple.
only.
She was literally in
Random.
the room.
Well, yeah, but like, I mean, I'm saying like logic wise, why would you think that you could get in the building without the mark?
Because she
Like-
did.
Like, you're not gonna get in the club without an ID. You know what I'm saying?
Nah. If I'm in the building and you let me come into the training room, break down how we're going to train, and then I step forward, and that's when you tell me, nah, man. Nah, that was kind of fucked up.
No, they didn't care about that. They like didn't care about Sonya at all. Besides, like, oh yeah, here's her friend Jax, and it's like, oh yeah, you could visit your friend.
And
So they
then-
treat it as like, you're here to visit your friend, right? Okay. And they're like, no, train? Whoa, no, you're not
And then
chosen.
Cole was
Get
like,
outta
"Come
here."
on, man. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't even be here." And then Liu Kang and Kung Lao were like, "So, anyways, who's first?"
So then they explained the lore of the Arcana, which is the power that the mark gives you, which is to explain away why Mortal Kombat characters have like these like crazy things that they do, like Liu Kang's fireballs and stuff, right? So through all of this, Kano gets angry, because basically, the training is not a success for him. Cole gets his ass beat, but it's like, oh, but it was an ass beating that taught him something. And so Kano's at the table eating with them. He's saying like racist shit. And so they start pissing off Kung Lao. Was like, I'm gonna piss this guy off. And the movie kind of makes it seem like I'm gonna take care of him, as in I'm gonna put him in his place. But then Kung Lao did this for a purpose, to piss off Kano so that he could shoot a laser beam, which is his arcana. He has a scar on his face from Reptile, and so they're like, yeah, scar, beams. That's Kano, right? No technology involved in these laser beams. So
Yeah, it was no
sure, whatever.
cybernetics. It was just my man Kano got to have magic powers in this incarnation, which whatever, fine. I'm
And
okay
he
if
makes
you
jokes about getting
look.
like superpowers.
Yeah, I'm okay with you've shaken up the formula, making new rules. But my issue is you got to be consistent with shit that you start. If you
There we
tell me
go.
the rules are A, B, and C, don't come
Right.
back with D, Q, M, and L. Like that's
There
not.
we go.
You can't do that. I'm perfectly fine if the rules are L, A, B, C. I'm perfectly fine with that. But keep them
Yeah.
A, B, C. There's a reason why I say this that we're about to get into. So he gets his I beam power, and he's like, "Wow, that's neat. I get to shoot I beams. Yeah, fuck yeah, woo!" And then at that point, Cole's like, "Man, Kano got his. I still ain't got no power. I suck." And then Raiden goes, "Yeah, you kind of trash. I'm gonna just send you home, big guy." And he just opened up a portal and sent
Yeah.
Cole to go home with his family.
Yeah, he's like, obviously you're not the one. You don't want to do all this. So if you want to go to your family, you know what? I'll just open a portal. Just go home, bro. Like we don't want you here, man. You're kind of trash. And
So
he's like, yeah, I'll leave.
yeah, so at this point, Shang Tsung's like, "All right, so how the fuck we gonna get past this giant electric barrier, the electro dome?" And then Cabal's like, "Yeah, that Kano dude, kind of a dick. You'd love him, but I know how to handle it." So he teleports him back to Raiden's temple, and then he goes, "Hey, Cabal, you on the wrong team. What the fuck you talking about?" He's like, "Look, man, you could do whatever you want over here. You could be rich, you could have slaves, you could even run a whole realm." Then Kano,
Wait. Before we go into that, I want to talk about Cabal's entrance, because this is like a movie lore thing that bothers me. That bothered me the whole time. We didn't get a payoff off of this line. Cabal comes in. He says, "I want Kano because Kano did this to me, or he's the reason why I'm like in this outfit or whatever, in the Iron Lung." No explanation as to why, like what happened, why he's in there, why they have beef,
and then the
and
first
then
time he
Cabal
sees
shows
him, he
up and
just
they're
tries to get
buddies.
him on his team.
Yeah, they're buddies. I'm like, hmm?
It's like, didn't you
This
just
is
say he's the reason why you wearing this apparatus? And like, it wasn't like a save your life thing. It was a he's the reason that this happened in
right.
the first place thing.
He's in there, revenge, and then he shows up. Oh, hey, what's up, dude? Yo, we got the hookup at my place. Like, you need to come with me.
Yeah,
And
man,
Kano's like,
exactly.
nah, man, we got the hookup here. I need you to understand.
And then Cabal was like, "No, you don't. You got to do whatever that guy says. Over here, you can do whatever." And then Kano was like, I can see what I can do about this barrier." So then Kano
Raiden
fought.
had a staff, and Kano like pulled the staff out of like the area that it was in, and that stopped the barrier.
And my
But
whole thing was like, you got a whole barrier guarding your whole entire thing, and you don't have nobody staff to guard this shit.
also, Raiden, these are your powers. You can't sense that someone is like disturbing this right now. Like you're supposed to be a god and the protector of Earthrealm and all these things. You can't tell that some dude
Yeah,
is like
it's like,
over here
bro, why
fucking
don't
with
you have the
the
staff on you at all times? Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
like. I'm so confused.
So it's like, all right, whatever. The barrier goes down, and then Shang Tsung and the rest of the Goon Squad pull up and go, "That's right, Raiden. We're gonna kill you here. You won't even make it to the tournament." So
Mhm.
then, like, everybody gets paired off. Cabal starts giving Liu Kang the hands. Kung Lao starts fighting Itara, and look,
No, wait. Kung Lao was fighting someone else first. I think he was fighting someone else first, and then Natara, like then Shang Tsung was like, "I'm gonna bring in my trump card, the most beautiful assassin of all time, the beautiful Natara," and she swoops in and screeches or whatever, and then he's like, "All right, oh well, I'm gonna fight her." But like by the time Natara showed up, Kung Lao got beat in a way where his hat was not like there, and that's why he was able to set up his fatality that happened. So I don't remember who he was fighting. I think it was Melina or something.
No,
Because
remember
Melina
Melina?
was a part of
No,
this.
remember Melina beat up Sonya, and
Yeah,
then
but
was
she
like,
also beat
and
up
then she
someone
was
else.
like, "Your blood is trash, bro.
Yeah, that's
Your
right.
blood is actual garbage because you're not a chosen
Yeah,
one."
she beat up Sonya, and then she was like, "Oh, you're not the chosen one. Like your blood is actually not the blood of a chosen one, so I don't need to do. You're not important to me." So she leaves and she fights
Melina called
Kung
this woman a
Lao.
normie, bro. She's
Yeah.
like, "Get out of here,
Oh,
normie."
that's gotta hurt. Like somebody beats your ass, and then they're like about to kill you. You're like, you know what? Actually, you're not the one. I don't fear you at all. So I'm gonna just leave you alive. You're not gonna kill me or anything. Anyways.
So then Nathan Jones, I'm not calling him Reiko. Fuck off. He's Nathan Jones.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Nathan,
you're right.
Nathan and Jax have their little dispute. But then somehow I forget how Sonya ends up in. Oh wait, no. Technically, this happens later. So they're doing all this. All the heroes basically lose their 1v1s. Kano and Sonya are fighting each other. Kano hits her with meter burn back 3 and just knocks this bitch down under like some rocks. And then this big ass rock fell and it was like crushed and it had her pinned, like it could have like suffocated her. And then Jax is like, no. So this is when he had the scrawny ass little baby arm, little baby man arms.
Skeleton arms. Metal
And-
skeleton.
And he was like, I can't lift up the boulder. Ah! And then Transformers, biceps in disguise. And then his arms became the traditional giant metal arms, the anchor arms that we're accustomed to seeing Jax have. Then he lifts up the boulder, and then Sonya's okay. And then Kung Lao is fighting whoever the fuck. Then Natara jumps him, and then he jumps Natara and then serves her into the buzzsaw fatality. And then it's like, all right, that's neat, I guess. Everybody else pretty much lost all their fights. And then Raiden goes, all right, well, this sucks. Time to get the fuck up out of here. Zoom, 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 zoom.
There's also a scene where Liu Kang is fighting Sub-Zero. And Liu Kang throws a fireball. Sub-Zero blocks the fireball. Sub-Zero throws a fireball at Liu Kang. Liu Kang just gets hit. Ice ball, whatever. And Liu Kang just gets hit. And I'm like, first off, this entire movie was hyping up Liu Kang like he's the one. Like he's out here, he's going to give everybody the hands because first off, he's been training this whole freaking time. Now, Kung Lao, they hyped him up in the same way, but Kung Lao actually, like, it paid off. They Kung Lao had his good moments. Liu Kang got beat up the whole time. And I was like, I don't understand why we're getting this.
Because they just wanted to do that for whatever reason, because they had to set it up for Liu Kang needs to get his power boost from seeing his family member die, which is weird because he already has his Arcana, so I don't really know what the fuck the point of this was. He's just gonna use it better.
Skip the Arcana backstory of Liu Kang was an orphan because this is to establish that Raiden takes orphans in. Like he just randomly takes in orphans and takes them to this place, and whatever, he like helps them like get raised or whatever, right? Liu Kang did get his Arcana, but there was a chosen one warrior who I forget the verbiage that was used.
He was a procurer of children, basically.
Yes,
he's basically sex trafficking children. That's basically what he was doing. And somehow he was like, you know what, this is terrible. So I killed him, and then I got my Arcana in that moment. It was like,
yeah, but he said he burned the dude, and I was like, so you burned him without your Arcana, and you got your Arcana. So like,
okay,
what?
So I actually went back and rewatched that scene.
With it?
He didn't burn him.
Okay.
He said, I decided to take his life. And that's how I got my Arcana. I was like, but it also seems like you got it like after you killed him? Like immediately after? Like, that's weird. But then that exact scenario happens later on with a certain woman we know. So apparently, killing the person, you get your Arcana. But somehow when Kano did it, no powers. When Jax did it, no powers.
Yeah, inconsistency here. Like they had to learn to they basically had to have a Super Saiyan moment, and like Liu Kang made it seem like no, like the moment I fired my first blast or whatever was my Super Saiyan moment, and so it happened as soon as I got my mark, which also was like he killed the dude and got that dude's mark, which was what they were trying to like imply.
And I was just like, what Mortal Kombat chosen one is out here selling children? Like, what the Like, who is vetting where these curse marks are going, man? Like, it's just mad weird. But anyways, then you push past all that. You duck and weave some things. Then it gets to the this is where the biggest plot sinkhole in the movie happens. Right here, folks. So while these people are getting jumped, right? Cole is obviously brought back into the fold because Cole has found a way to beat Goro. He may be saying, beat Goro?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking
That's
about?
right.
So
They sent
while
Goro to his house.
all the stuff that we were just talking about and how Cole got sent home, well, Cole ended up at home, and then a portal opens up, and Goro's outside just waiting to give him the hands. So Cole is wearing like what, a wife beater and like Wrangler jeans?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Goro is just like, all right, you're trash, gives him the hands. And then he sees his family trying to run because it's like, I think his wife hit him in the back with an axe. He's like, oh, not the fucking kidneys. So then he was like, nah, I'm sick of this. So then he's about to give the wife and the daughter.
No. Let me say this first. She got in the car. She hit him with the car. She then sits and yells when she could have just backed up the car and left. Like, she had ample time. Like, Goro got hit by the car. He's like, you hit me. What the heck? I'm going to fight you now. And she's like, ah. And I'm like, reverse. Back up.
Yeah, exactly.
Drive.
It's a very simple concept, but whatever. So she stays there, and then Goro's about to give her the goo-wop in the hands. And then that's when Cole goes, I won't let you do this. And then he puts on a golden t-shirt. Some of y'all think that I am lying, or it's literally plot armor.exe has been activated.
Mm-hmm.
So this has been confirmed by the actor. Remember how the Black Panther suit works in the MCU with storing kinetic energy? That's exactly how the golden armor works. That is why when Goro hit him that one time and it glowed orange. That's why he was able to use the kinetic energy into boosting his uppercut to hit him. Yeah. That's what that whole scene was. Yeah. Good job.
They didn't establish that very well, man. They could have look, if you're taking this from Black Panther, in Black Panther, the kinetic energy bursts out because that is that makes sense.
You use it to enhance your blows because it didn't glow or anything. It looked like a normal uppercut.
And also these things like this thing glowed and he was getting hit and stuff. And then all of a sudden he pulls out tonfas. And I was like, okay, so
he pulls
that's
out
not the power?
Yeah, he pulls out bladed tonfas. So it's like, oh, he has 2 arcanas. Oh shit. So then he starts, beating up Goro in his Wrangler jeans because he doesn't get pants with this outfit. He just gets the jeans. And pop, stabs like Goro in the eye, I think, and then disembowels him. And then Goro dies. And it's like, let me get this straight.
Fatality.
Goro is a Shokan warlord, master of combat, yada yada yada.
Prince.
Whatever. And this is what Cole's arc has been. Getting ass whooped by regular human. Getting ass whooped by Liu Kang. Getting ass whooped by Kung Lao. Beats Goro?
Well, I will say that before this scene, Goro literally had only been on the screen for like 2 minutes. He literally, Shang Tsung was like, now Prince Goro, it's your time. And then Goro's hand shows up on screen, and then he goes through a portal to Cole's house. And it's like, that's his real entrance coming through the portal. And you finally see the full CGI Goro, which looked good. I mean, Goro looked good.
I've seen worse CGI in higher budget movies.
Right.
So I'm gonna let this whole visually, a lot of things in this movie were actually relatively pleasing. And a lot of the costumes were the best a lot of these MK characters have looked in anything live action related, okay?
Okay, live action related. I'm glad you said that because
you needed some tact there.
They have some better costumes that we could have used. Sonya wore a t-shirt. They're like, yeah, Sonya, she just wears a t-shirt or whatever, right? And I'm like,
you can't tell me otherwise that in the first Mortal Kombat movie, my man Liu Kang went wearing a wife beater, black jeans, and black Air Forces, bro.
My God.
My man chose violence every day.
Bro, Robin's shoes, Liu Kang was fucking great. I'm not gonna lie. That outfit was it just fit. In this movie, Liu Kang went through his all of his MK variant costumes. Like it
No,
was literally
but
like
the thing is, when you look at the Liu Kang in this movie, tell me he does not look like Naruto Ultimate Storm Player 3 alternate color palette Sasuke.
that's how it was at first. Like he
Like
was
when he
wearing
first
black.
showed up.
Yeah, when he first showed up, he was wearing the black one, which is an alt color Liu Kang outfit from like a different game or whatever. And then at some point he was wearing the white during like training and stuff. And then there was like a scene of him shirtless, and for the rest of the movie he was just wearing the white. And I was like, okay. I mean, like it's cool that they're incorporating all these costumes, but like you guys could have just made a longer movie if you wanted to do stuff like this, because it's just really like random that he's like changing all the time and everybody else is not.
I don't think it changed all the time. I think it's just like, I don't know what, I could be remembering this wrong, but it's just the way he looked when he was coming up that sunset. He looked like Sasuke, but he never looked
Yo,
like that for the rest of the film.
he didn't.
It might be just the lighting or the wind, but he looked mad different for some reason during that scene as opposed to the rest of the movie. Anyway.
It was the lighting for sure.
But anyways, so like I said, everyone's getting their ass handed to him. Cole is somehow the only person who wins this fight. And then Raiden senses that the fight was won, which tells me he can sense things. Which doesn't make any sense on how his staff, he couldn't sense that blew up, but he could sense that Cole beat Goros, and he makes a teleporter to bring Cole back, which means he can sense danger. Okay?
And he doesn't need the staff.
And he doesn't need the staff to teleport people. And I'm like, all right, so he can open up portals.
No,
Neat.
let me tell you the scene that really bothers me, because after this happens, he takes everyone to a white room.
No,
And they're
that's what I
like-
was about
and-
to talk about too.
No, because I want to talk about what he says after this. But like literally, the white room is there, and they're like, "What is this?" And he's like, "Oh, it's the void." And I'm like, oh, "Okay." But
No,
someone
there's a
asked
key
Raiden a
word.
question.
No, there was a key word about the void. He said
Tell me.
it is a space between realms.
Oh yeah, okay.
So
Yeah.
so what this tells you is he doesn't even need to be in the same realm as you to teleport you.
Nope.
This is a very important detail. Go on.
But then, was it Liu Kang who asked him? I think someone asked him the question, like, "Raiden, can you teleport anyone from anywhere?" And he's like, "Yes." And I'm like, wait. So he could have, like, when those people showed up to his home, and they were like, "Yeah, we're about to destroy this place and kill your people in here." Instead of just being like, "Get out," boom.
That's what I said.
"Nah,
All right, so
stay
because
here."
this is the part that bothered me. Like, this is the part where I was like, okay, now this movie's just insulting our intelligence as people. Like, forget the rules of MK. You can't tell me that there's a character that could just snap his fingers and teleport anybody anywhere. Because this is exactly how that scene should have started and ended when Shang Tsung pulled up.
Well, he said he's not supposed to get involved. That was his logic.
That's not
behind, like,
involvement.
not-
That's not involvement.
Whatever. But like,
That's
yeah,
not involvement.
It was like, they're in your house. This is not involvement. They're just like in your space, and you just be like, "Get out of my space."
This is
You're
exactly
not
how the
allowed
scene
here.
should have went. Raiden, I've come to bar.
Right. Simple.
Cabal, what wasn't we just talking shit to Raiden? Yeah, I thought. How we end up back in my throne room? The fuck? All right, let's go back. Raiden, I've come to. What the fuck? Hello?
It's like, "Sorcerer, you will never come step foot in my home," and it's like something like that. They could have just done that.
Yeah, that's exactly how
Fine.
that should have went down, but whatever. So it gets to a point to where they're like, well, which one do you guys want? Oh, wait, actually, no, we skipped something. We skipped something very important.
Oh,
Yeah, you skip
the
you skip
soul
Kung
seal.
Lao. Like, you just skip.
There we go.
So yeah,
Oh my god, the worst scene.
So
in the
Raiden
movie
starts
right here.
teleporting everybody to that void area. And then Kung Lao is about to get teleported. And then Shang Tsung's like, stop him.
Come
And then-
here.
No, Shang Tsung's like,
No,
stop
he's
him.
literally
And
like, he literally did
then
this, he
Kano
left
punched
David
Kung
in
Lao.
there.
Then Kung Lao got kicked out of the teleportation beam. Now, keep in mind, Raiden can sense when these things happen. That's how he could sense what happened with Cole.
Yep.
So then Shang Tsung grabs Kung Lao like a force user and then starts sucking his soul out.
Right. For a
And
long
then
time.
Liu Kang is like,
No!
and I'm like, bro, you have a fireball. You could do something. You could actually do something about this. And then
I
Cole
think he
grabs
was
Liu
still
Kang.
fighting like Cabal at the time too, but like Cabal was just kind of like, this is interesting.
Well, no, they weren't fighting Because remember, Liu Kang was fighting Cabal, and then Cabal stopped what he was doing to say, "Looks like your boy's about to get his soul sucked."
Yeah, he was like, looks like your boy's about to get his soul sucked over here. And I was just like, wait, so Liu Kang, you got free hands. Like, what do you no?
Yeah, and then Cole grabs Lou and is like, "We gotta go." And then the teleporter activates. I'm like, you could definitely sense this, Raiden. You should definitely do something about this. But what the fuck ever?
Didn't Cabal also, or not Cabal? Didn't oh my god, Kung Lao also like do a sort of like, it's okay, Lou, it's okay. And I was
Not to
like,
my
'cause
knowledge, no.
he either like gave him a head nod or he like legit like said something to Liu Kang that was just kind of
I
like
just
a
remember him screaming and going. That's what I remember. I don't remember no, it'll be okay, Lou. I don't remember that shit.
I just remember being like visibly mad that one, Liu Kang wasn't doing anything, and two, Kung Lao was just kind of like accepted it, like, yeah, there's nothing else I can do. And I was like, what? Wait, hold on.
And no,
He's
before you
taking a
ask,
long time.
at no point
Teleport
did
to the
Kung
hat.
Lao ever spin. It never happened.
Mad about no spinning, but we did get hat teleport, and I'm fine with that. But then hat teleport physics just didn't happen anymore. He teleported once, and then it was like, yeah, I don't remember how to do it. It's like, what?
So,
So
but anyways, so Kung Lao is getting, the souls, the big soul suck, and then all the heroes get teleported to the void, and then Raiden's like, yeah, I can teleport anywhere, and I'm like, once again, then this whole movie didn't need to happen. You could have at least solved all of our problems in 10 seconds. And then I thought to myself, well, maybe the villains are on a level of power where they can't be teleported. Then 2 seconds later, Raiden teleports the villains and the heroes to desolate one-on-one isolated locations.
MK stages, the pit.
And then obviously, Jax wins, says these motherfuckers work, kills Raiko. And then Melina goes out of her way to not kill Cole like 3 times because she teleported, and she teleported above him, behind him, coming down with a kunai, knowing that he's wearing armor. Instead of stabbing him in the head or the neck that is exposed because he doesn't have a helmet, she decides to stab the armor.
Mm-hmm. Cole's over there like, ugh, what do I do? Top us.
Yeah. And even though this happened, Cole was still losing the fight. So this is telling us that Goro is weaker than Melina. All right, cool, I guess. And then at this point, Kano is fighting Sonya. Cabal is fighting
her
Liu Kang.
trailer.
Yeah, in her house, her little trailer park house. So eventually, all the heroes win except for Cole. Cole is like, get off me. Get off my back.
Let's talk about how the deaths happened here. Cabal got in quicksand, and so Liu Kang summoned a fire dragon
and ate him.
And it's like, excuse me, you could have done that this whole time. Where do we draw the line on all this shit that you could have done and just didn't do when you watched your cousin get his soul sucked? like, bro, come on. Like, now's not the time to show off. Now's not the time to pop off like that. Whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ball gets killed by the dragon. Kano laser beams under Sonya's like a hatch where Sonya was at, and she somehow didn't get hit by at all, which, wow. Superhuman already. But Sonya kills him like the dude in Baki, who was like Baki's teacher or whatever, who was like, yeah, I'm not that strong, but I fight dirty. So he covers himself in like dirt and stuff, and then starts kicking the dude in the balls and shit. That's basically what Sonya did. And she gets a mark from Kano, who dies.
Yeah, so that's how she gets her mark. And then
she got teleported.
Yeah, so
teleported her to Cole.
Yeah, so Raiden sensed that the fight was over, and then teleported Sonya to Cole's battle. And then Sonya just
drill kicking in.
Yeah, she just drill kick, Beyblade flips, and then shoots her ring blast. No gauntlets, just like a regular fist, regular skin. Boom. And then it hits Melina in the back and just like completely cuts her in half. So she just dies from a regular projectile.
Yep.
Unceremoniously. In the middle of battle. And then Cole's like, thanks, brah. And look, I'm just going to speed run this ending part because it doesn't make sense. So, like we said, Raiden can teleport anybody. So, Sub-Zero comes through a portal, says, I have your family, Cole, and tries to fuck off. Cole follows him.
Raiden gives Cole Sub-Zero's garden tool and
Scorpions.
says, or Scorpion's garden tool, and is like, "This is from Scorpion, your ancestor." Oh yeah, before we, your ancestor is Scorpion. The Scorpion's baby. I took it and I took it to my refuge and raised the baby, and the baby became someone who was a part of the clan and had more babies, and whatever. You're
You're
basically
the
his great
last
great great
descendant.
grandson.
You're the last
Yeah.
descendant of the Shirarayu. And he's like, I don't know what the
Mhm.
fuck that means. I gotta save my fucking family.
Right.
So he takes the kunai, goes there, fights Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero basically just gives him the fucking gobbledygook. And then
Sub-Zero freezes the gym that Cole got beat up at.
yeah, and you find out that his family is also frozen inside an octagon cage.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, everything is coming full circle now, I fucking guess. So then Sub-Zero is basically like, yeah, Cole, you're dog shit. You're dog water.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat you.
Just beats him
and
up.
I hate you because of
And-
Hanzo.
Yeah, and then that's when Cole throws the kunai, and then Sub-Zero's like, nah, I saw this shit before. Sidesteps it. He's like, all right, Cole, time to die. And then the kunai just transmogrifies and opens up a portal to the nether realm. And Scorpion just comes out of it, and he's like, get over here, and just starts giving Sub-Zero the hands. He's like, what's even happening right now?
Like, Hanzo, what? How'd you get here? I am Scorpion. What?
Now, YouTube comment section, I want you to pause the video. Twitch chat, I'm gonna give you about 15, 30 seconds here after I finish asking you this question to give me your answer. How do you think Cole tries to free his family? Go on. Feel free to get. There are no wrong answers here for those of you who haven't seen the movie.
He uses the heat from his armor to, melt the ice, right? Because
See,
he has that heat
would've-
effect that comes out of the armor, right? Yeah,
That would have been A-okay with me. What you just said, that would have been
Foreshadowing.
A-okay. It would have been foreshadowed. We would have had something for that. Something.
Too bad.
Too bad that's not what they decided to do. My man said, I'm about to chisel the ice off by boxing the ice. So imagine you in like you're in an ice cocoon, unconscious, frozen, and this dude just over here.
Take this ice.
Man's just giving the ice the one to the two. So what if you hit it too hard and her head fall off, bro?
Right, Cole, what are you doing? I'm freeing my family.
Well, there goes her head. I've murdered my family. Like, it's not a good look, but whatever. So he's doing that while Scorpion's keeping Sub-Zero busy. Eventually, one thing leads to another, and Scorpion and Cole get it popping, do a 2-on-1 tag, Game Breaker 2 from NFL Street, and end up taking Sub-Zero out. Then Sub-Zero's like, oh, for the Lin Kuei, I'm dying. And that's what Scorpion says, remember this face. And then he does the whole rips off face. It's a skeleton. But it wasn't really ripping off his face because his regular face comes back and that.
No,
whatever.
he was shooting fire and it was like burning his face off. And then like
that's why his mouth. That's why he had all that black teeth.
I feel like they had a budget. Like I feel like they had a really bad budget because these special effects, like the timing of the special effects, like Goro is only in that one fight scene, even though they talk about Goro in a different scene. The effects for the laser beam and with stuff like that, those things happen like twice throughout the movie. And this like scorpion face scene, they didn't want to show the entire like skull face. And it seemed like it was because this is too expensive. We only have enough for like half the face.
So they get past that. Sub-Zero's dead, and then Raiden's like, "Yeah, it's all the people you brought. We just whooped their ass." And then Sang Sung's like, "Neat, but death is only a gateway to another realm. Like these people will return in Avengers Endgame." and then these portals start opening up and start sucking up all the dead bodies, and it's just like
not all. They sucked up Melina. No,
they sucked up all the people not named Kano and what's his fuck.
No, they sucked up Cabal and
Melina and Bihan. Yeah, the people who don't fucking suck.
For people were like, oh, this is people who don't really know like a lot of the lore, or just kind of like, so what is Sub-Zero coming back? And it's like, no, he's probably gonna come back as Noob. That's what that scene meant to me. Noob is coming, and then
Melina can be cloned.
Right.
Cabal could probably. I mean, he was already burnt once, so
Yeah, he could just get repaired or whatever. So
I wouldn't be too shocked by that one. And I'm sure Goro can have healing factor. I mean, let's face it. We've seen some of these characters come back from fucking worse.
nah, man, Goro's dead in the MK11 lore, so you know he's dead now.
Sure. And then we get past that, and then Shang Tsung, is still talking all this hot shit. And then that's when Raiden goes, "Be gone, thought," and snaps him back with electric portal to Outworld. And I'm like, what?
Yep. Yeah.
So you could have done it.
Could have.
You just didn't. Raiden, you are a sack of crap. Raiden's trash,
Like,
bro.
oh, the movie was a fun watch, but even as far as what they did with the movie and like the story they built up and stuff like that, it could have been so much better. Like I don't get it. If they wanted jobber characters, MK has jobber characters. You could just use jobber characters instead of taking existing characters and then making them jobbers, even though they have interesting stories behind them. If they want the good guys didn't have a good team. They had like not that many people at all, and I was confused. Oh, also the end has a stinger of like, oh, Cole's going to Hollywood to meet up with Johnny Cage, and it's like, that's why you didn't put him in the movie.
Damn right, that's why.
Because it had a reference to a movie that Johnny Cage, like lore wise, Johnny Cage actually did. And he mentions it in MK9. But yeah, they had like a poster for that. And it was just like, okay, so Cole is just randomly going to Hollywood. Cole, you got beat up by whatever. Okay, I'll believe this. And like, what about your fam? Whatever, I'll believe this. And then the movie ends. So I don't know. They had better. So in my brain, I was like, this would have been a great movie to have Stryker in, but with the climate and all, I don't think they want to put a cop as like the good guy, especially a cop who, was like on the fence as far as like
Look, the last thing you need is that man having a corny one-liner talk about police brutality coming up. Like that's not.
yeah.
Given where we are with police in the modern climate, it just wouldn't have gone over very well, guys. I don't make the rules. I'm just telling you what they are.
So like it would have been the perfect movie for Stryker to be in, but I completely understand why he wasn't in it. But there are other like characters on the good guy side that like could have been in this movie to
Well,
like
here's the weird
buff
thing.
up
The
the
movie was
good guy
only an
team.
hour and a half. So that told me everything I needed to know that we were going to see some hot dog water cinema. I don't need much to tell me when it's hot dog water time, all right? And when you see that it was 90 minutes, I was like, oh boy. And then keep in mind, the tournament does not happen. This is supposed to be like a prequel to the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So
There's no tournament.
There is no tournament that happens in any part of this film. So if you were looking to see like eliminations and things that actually had like real stakes, no, that's for the next movie. Which is weird because it's not just the next movie. According to reports, the actor who plays Sub-Zero has signed on for 5 sequels. So they think we're going to get at least Mortal Kombat 6. Now, maybe that's 3 sequels and like a Noob Saibot or a Sub-Zero Mythology spinoff or something like that.
Okay, so I did hear like someone proposed the idea that if that was their like intent to have like multiple movies, because this movie was made in a way where it was like they definitely were intending to have sequels to expand on certain things. So they were like, yeah, you could just wait. The next movie will go over this, or the next movie will have all this other cool stuff that you want, whatever, right? If they were gonna do that, they could have had like a cinematic universe that was like, okay, this is the Kano movie. This is this is the Special Forces movie about Kano, Jax, and Sonya. This is the Liu Kang movie, or the Liu Kang and Kung Lao movie. Like you could have shit like that, and it would like still work.
Bro, you could have literally had the movie versions of Special Forces, Shaolin monks.
Exactly.
Mortal Kombat, Twisted Sister, and then it's all about the Bacon Melina.
Exactly. Like they like had things that they could have done with other movies, and then had like Mortal Kombat as like the big like Avengers type movie where that's when the tournament's happening. We already know everybody going in, so they could like have the movie be like this one where you don't really get a lot of backstory on these people. There's not a lot of growth, but you don't need it because you already know them, or you
They,
at least know something.
yeah, then you could have Shaolin monks too. You can have Baraka, like Tarkatan warfare,
Right.
Shokan warfare, movies that focus on Outworld, and then so that then you could have Mortal Kombat 2,
Exactly.
Rise of Shao Kahn or some shit like that.
Exactly. Like that all would have worked well, and they would have made more money. And we all know that these guys want more money. So I don't know. Like that, I think that would have been better. But I mean, if they are getting like more movies, at least one more movie, I want to see what they improve on, and if they get a bit bigger budget, because it seemed like this movie didn't have the kind of budget that it was supposed to. Also, I understand some of the people who are like pissed about the movie because I remember when this was first announced, and like all the promotion was like, this is gonna be the Mortal Kombat movie that's faithful to the lore. This is gonna be the Mortal Kombat movie that's made from the lore from the video game. And this is all before like MK11 happened. So yeah, you go in thinking, yeah, this is gonna be the lore movie. Oh shit, this is gonna be done really well. And then like it's this. It's just kind of like, oh,
They
whoa,
gave you a moldy ham and egg cheese sandwich, no egg.
right. Like before the movie was fully cast, they promoted all that stuff. So like something got flubbed in the production floor, on the cutting floor, I guess maybe, or something. But
Now there
like,
are rumors that apparently the director wanted to make it one way, but then other people who were above him decided to say, "Hey, buddy, we're over here at Warner Brothers. We don't do that. You're going to make a simple movie because we want simple. Because there's going to be
nah, fuck
people
you.
who are going to be new to this, and we want them to be accommodated."
Nah, man. Sorry. I want to make my movie. If you don't like this, get another director, and I'll take the footage here, and I'll just put it on the internet or something. Because people want a Mortal Kombat movie. They want a good Mortal Kombat movie, and I want to give them the good Mortal Kombat movie. And they're just like, "Oh man, we want some product placement here. Why don't you give Sony some like girl boss vibes, and why don't you like make Melina like real cool? Oh, also Melina's mouth was really cool. Okay, she had like a regular like human mouth, and they only showed this like once in the movie. But like when she actually wanted to like have the Tarkatan jaw, it like
Ripped their skin.
expanded and like ripped open or whatever. And like she had the like abrasions on her face to make it seem like okay, that this is not her full mouth, and this is hiding the rest, and it paid off.
Yeah, like I said, aesthetically, the movie had a lot of shining moments, but the
Right.
substance, the sauce, was definitely lacking. But
Cabal
anyways,
looked dope. I
yeah,
actually liked it.
I
And it
actually
was
want,
MK11 Cabal.
I actually want that costume in MK11. I want
Yeah.
that. But regardless, the rest of the movie, butt juice. But pushing past Mortal Kombat, we have a couple of other things that we'd like to talk about today. For example, Apex Legends. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but they're getting their Valorant Light mode, which is going to be known as Apex Arenas. And you guys know, as an Apex content creator, there's a lot of matches that I'm going to be playing. That I'm talking about. I think it drops May 4th. May 4th, I'm probably going to stream that on this Twitch channel for hours and get a whole bunch of footage. And then we're going to upload them on the YouTube. Like, there's going to be a shit ton of shit on YouTube, like next like month or so, of just a lot of Apex games. I'll tell you that right now. I may not even touch the Battle Royale game for like a couple of weeks. It's just going to be arenas because that looks super dope. Omega Fire, and I can't wait to see how SBMM bends me over the table and tries to fuck me in my ass. But that's neither here nor there. Valkyrie, new character coming, looks super dope. She can like her Q, not her ult, her regular tactical. She shoots like Farah Barrage from Overwatch. Now the missiles don't do much damage, but they do concuss and they can volley over of like low cover. Her float looks really good. I think her ult's gonna be mad stupid because her ult basically turns her into a zipline balloon. Like you tether to your teammates and you rocket up and then you just like drop on people. So it's gonna be a great repositioning tool. It's like Horizon's tactical on crack.
It sounds like Doomfist's ult, honestly.
But it doesn't do any damage when you land. It's like basically like if you go off a no, her ult is literally an escape. Like you know, like when you go up a balloon zip, it's literally that. You're just flying.
Oh, that sucks.
I don't know what you're talking about. You know how
I
broke
mean,
that's gonna be?
like to escape, sure, but like no damage. Boo.
Yeah, but imagine there's gonna be certain areas that you can't get to mid game. There are gonna be certain areas that you can't get to anymore.
And you could like drop to them. Yeah, that
Yeah, so like that's gonna be
is
broke.
busted.
Like there's gonna be stuff that Horizon can't even like Horizon and Octane can't even get to. And like I just said, that this is gonna be very interesting. So I'm very curious to see the applications that people are gonna find with that character. Mad OD. Also, she can hover in the air and like use thrusters. So yeah, that character there's gonna be hella busted. And because she's using her own thrusters, that means she doesn't require other people's help to get to high locations, which means if she goes somewhere high, she leaves nothing you can follow her on. There's no jump pad. You don't take Horizon's cue. You can't follow her. So,
Hmm.
so that's going to be very interesting to see how that works. So yeah, Apex Legends looking like it's going to be doing something really cool. Arenas 3-on-3 mode. Basically, senior CS:GOs, your Valorants. It's going to be team deathmatch, but there's no respawns. You can res people, as in like revive them when they're down. But once they get turned into a box, that's it. It's curtain. No respawn beacons. They're just AD dead. But yeah, looks like a fun, fast place mode. It looks like it's going to be hella sweaty. I can't wait. But getting out of the video game area, I know you were talking about the good old Michael Jackson earlier, and Tito's son bringing some new evidence to light that shows that maybe Michael Jackson is not the menace to society that many people painted him as over the mid 2000s and early 2010s.
Right. So he brought up that there were several investigations into Mike and his alleged activity, and they found nothing. And that one of the stories involving a boy. I think this is in that like doc that came out after R. Kelly, and that was the reason why it was like people were like cancel Michael Jackson because the R. Kelly stuff. But the kid was like, "Oh, I was on the train in Neverland and on this date in 91, 92, whatever." And it was pointed out that the train didn't exist. The train was never there. So basically it became like a Twitter topic of people talking about how Michael's image got like really tarnished by all of these allegations, and nobody really talked about how the result of it all was that he was doing some stuff that was like questionable, but there was no like evidence of him actually like abusing kids the way he said, and that a lot of people are trying to get money off of this. Some to an extent that like I think the two boys who were in the that one recent doc that came out that Oprah was like hyping up or whatever, they went to lawyers before they went to cops about the situation. Like their parents went to lawyers before they went to cops about the abuse. So like these like nothing was reported until after the allegations, and there was some like murky area of like uh there are allegations made before the actual events would have transpired. So yeah, there was a lot of there was just shady situations there, and he was basically like, I've known that man my entire life, yada yada. Like you guys like didn't really like give him the justice that he deserved after it was like after the fact of like, hey, he was innocent or whatever. So yeah, I think him and some of the other family members are trying to like basically like revitalize his image because he got canceled like after that Oprah thing happened, because of R. Kelly mostly, and like of course before that there were some people who were like, yeah, the trial, et cetera, but the trial is also like one of those things in the bank of, yeah, you guys should probably pay attention to the details because he got off. They did this investigation and they weren't able to try him. Like, why is that? That sort of shit. But yeah, uh, so that became a trending topic for a while. It was interesting. And it was also interesting seeing people trying to get clout off of being like, yeah, that's right. I like Michael Jackson the whole time. I still listen to him. It's like, okay, that's nice.
It's like that's not what it's about.
Right.
It's weird because it's like, okay, you knew this. That's not what it's about. Said
Exactly.
like you knew this wasn't about that from the jump, but you just like, what did you want? Brownie points? Like you listening to him does not do anything to help his name.
Exactly.
You just saying shit because you want someone to like and retweet your shit. You're making this about you, and people got to stop doing that too. But anyway, like I don't know, like it's weird because you see these people go back on their stories like a handful of times, and then you start questioning, like, all right, so what do we really? Is this people trying to get their money? And then there's a whole big conspiracy theory that Sony manufactured all this so they can get the assets to music, and that I'm not going down that rabbit hole. That rabbit hole deep.
I mean, that sounds like a thing that could happen. Honestly,
I'm not
like,
saying that it wouldn't, because I mean we've seen how shady these music industry people are. I mean, do I need to
bro,
remind
after
you
learning
about what's
about some
going
of
on
the
with?
details of this whole Kesha thing and like the Kesha trial, like, yeah, these people are fucking wild in the
Yep,
street.
you got the Kesha thing. You got the whole thing about Taylor Swift feeling the need to re-record all of her music. The whole thing that
Right.
was going on with Twitch and Amazon for the longest time. So, like, yeah,
And there are other artists re-recording their music now too.
yeah. So, like, music industry has set some pretty wild standards, and could it be believable? Absolutely. I'm not going to sit here and say that like I wouldn't believe it, but at the same time, it is a deep rap. There are so many layers to it. Like you could spend hours getting lost in that sauce about Sony versus Michael Jackson and the battle that they were having for the rights to music, which ultimately Sony ended up getting. They did end up getting him, but it took his death before they could really solidify and take it home. But
Yeah.
point is, there's some foul stuff when you go ahead and read it. But yeah. Do I think he's innocent? Look, I'm gonna put it to you this way. I don't know who was in Michael Jackson's camp. I don't know who his homies were. And I understand that, he may have been a shut-in who, had those issues as a child of if you don't hit that high note, I'm gonna hit you in the throat. You know what I'm saying? Like an abusive family.
Right.
I understand that he may never had a childhood, but someone in his camp should have felt morally obligated to be like, look, some of the weird stuff you do, you gotta turn it down. You having kids over here, you know what I'm saying? You can't be doing that, Mike. And if you are going to do it, I hate to say it, but you need to make sure that you invest in a camera in every room, a camera with sound, and have it backed up somewhere. So if anyone tries to pull out some shiesty stuff on you, you can go ahead and be like, nah, I got the facts. And I guess it wouldn't have been 4K back then, 1080p. I got you in 1K.
I got you in 1K. Yeah, I'm on that same boat of like, if he is innocent, or yeah, if he is innocent, then someone on his team was not doing the right thing. Like someone should have been like, yo, this is not a good look. And even though you have like these good intentions and whatnot, and you are not out here trying to do some like nasty shit, people are not going to see it that way because the media, because you're a huge figure, and people are against you. And also you dated Elvis's daughter, so there might be some racists out here who are trying to like pick a bone with you too. So it's just not a good look, man.
It's never been like, I don't know, like it just feels like things get like really weird, like really fast. Look up in a lot of these rabbit holes about some of the litigation issues that many of your favorite celebrities have, because like sometimes it feels like they're going to court over nothing. Then you realize what the details that get divulged in those court transcripts are like, oh, and then you realize what we thought was just a little molehill that they were making a mountain out of was actually a molehill, but there was a whole like Atlantis-sized cavern underneath of just, we really didn't understand until we understood, which, it's unfortunate, but, it's one of those things where kind of like you live and learn. It is what it is. But the con stories. So we're running up close to the 2-hour mark. So we're just going to leave you at one. We'll divulge the rest of them to open up Clout.WAV podcast. It'll be called the convention episode. So we're going to leave you with some light we're not gonna leave you with anything too devious. The juicy stuff we'll save for next, but I'll give you a quick one that involves injustice. Now, Abdul knows this one, even though he wasn't at this convention. This is up here at Otakon. And I want to say it was 2017. What was the year Injustice came out? That was 2017, right?
Injustice 2, right?
Just 2. Just 2, my bad. 2017?
In 2017, yes.
Yeah,
May
okay.
11th.
Okay, so then it was 2018 when it happened. It was Otakon 2018 because Adam was out. And Adam, I believe, he was a season 2 character, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this was 2018 Otakon. And it was so actually no. Damn, it might have been 20. No, it was 2018 Mortal Kombat. Anyways, so 2018, everything was going good, everything was going swimmingly, everything was going fine. The tournament couldn't happen unless we got 16 people. And I believe we had 15 people at the time. And I was a big advocate on we should not enter our own tournament. Why? Because I feel like if you enter your own tournament, especially at a convention, I don't know. I don't want to say it feels scummy, but it just feels like the integrity of the bracket could be called into question at any time, especially if you're in there and then you end up winning the fucking thing, right?
Right.
And we've had a couple of people on staff enter tournaments before and then ending up winning them. And I'm like, doesn't that look sus, guys? Come on, guys. We can't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? So, eventually we came to agreement that we will not enter any event that we run ever again. It's just not a good look. But the people, they were like, man, we need someone else to sign up, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And I was like, I don't want to sign up. I literally told everybody there I didn't want to sign up. I don't agree with me playing in the tournament. We're going to have to find somebody else. And they just kept whining and complaining. And don't get me wrong, I understand you want to have a tournament. I get that. But like, I'm not about to just forward somebody else's name on there and say that we collected an extra $10 from some rando, that like doesn't exist. Like, I'm not going to do that. Right.
Right.
So then, talked it over with a couple of people and they said, all right, go ahead and enter. So my initial plan was find someone who's decent, lose on purpose, and then losers lose to the same person, or find someone else who's decent at the game and then lose on purpose again, and then like be out like 5th place so I don't place in the money. So we were only given top 3 prizes because it wasn't even money. Because Otakon up there, they have a law where you can't like have like money involved. So like the con gives away like swag. Like, jackets, hoodies, DVDs, anime merch, video game paraphernalia, memorabilia from your favorite, nerd culture thing, right?
Right.
So round 1 is going by pretty smoothly. I think we have like 6 setups, so it's like really easy to run a 16-man bracket. Everyone playing pretty normally. This one dude, I see that he's terrible. We're playing best out of 5, so it's first 3. And I was just like, I'm a 3-0. I'm not gonna say terrible, but it was not seasoned. Did not have any seasoning on that chicken. So I had to give him the watch. Second round, give that dude a watch. Third round, I was playing this dude. I forget his name, but he's a cool dude. And he's pretty decent. He plays Blue Beetle and Batman. And I was like, all right, this might be a good time for me to lose. Right? So I'm like, all right, whatever. Let's go ahead and play. And I was like, all right, whatever. We're playing and end up winning. I was like, all right, neat. Whatever. So then I end up fighting this one dude who plays Fate and Adam. And anybody who knows Fate and Adam, those are 2 of the most annoying motherfuckers to ever exist in an NRS game. And this man played both. And like, he wasn't even like good, but he was like decent enough to where it's like, all right, I can throw him. Right? I'll throw. So I intentionally took the L, and my man said, all right, let's go. So I'm in losers now. And there's another Blue Beetle Batman player who's another real cool guy. He was friends with that Fred dude. I forget his name too. But anyway, he was cool. So the two Blue Beetle players were chopping it up, and like they played each other. The second guy that I hadn't played yet beat the first Blue Beetle, and then I had to play him next. I was like, okay, who put you in losers? He told the dude that put, air quotes, put me in losers, also put him in. I said, all right, makes sense. So we're playing, and it goes to game 5, and I'm thinking about losing, right? And like in between game 4 and 5, I hear the dude who's sitting in grand finals waiting on us. Like he taps me on the shoulder. He goes, "Hey man, you like hurry this up? I got a panel I got to get to at like 4:45, and it's like 4 o'clock right now, and like speed this up." And I don't know what it was. Like I didn't hear what he said. Like I heard what he said, but my mind process as, "Hey man, all y'all bitches free. Hurry this shit up so I can get my shit and leave." And I said, "All right, I'll hurry it up." And that's when Bane mode went on, and I just wrapped up that game 5 real quick, started grand finals, and I gave this man the goo-wop, the woggly whoop, the zip zop zoopity, and the bop. My man said, "I'm not fighting against Bane. I'm fighting against Bill Cosby," because I was putting that motherfucker to sleep. After game 1, he was like, "Damn, all right." So he switched to Adam. And for those of you who don't know, when Adam uses his trait, you can just push block this motherfucker and get rid of his trait. So I was just saving my meter for push block, and then I caught this man with forward 2 down, meter burn back 3. And let me just say this: he still had white health on the screen. But when that shit happened, he paused the game and hit restart match. So we went into game 3. I didn't even have to take a second health bar. He just gave it up. Game 3, got washed again. Brackets reset now. So this dude's like, "Man, fuck." So he goes to character select screen, flops over, says, "All right, bet. Picks Fate. Goes back to Fate. Gets washed game 1. Game 2 starts. He gets like 25, he's like at 25% health. I'm still at like a bar and a half of health. My man pauses the game, goes to character select, picks Adam. And when
Excuse me?
Yeah, he wasn't even dead. I mean, the next touch probably would have killed him, but he was like, "Nah, I'm good." And then game 6, I guess, because the reset. When I tell you, I hit that man with back 2-3, 1-2-3 ring toss, dash forward. My man tried to wake up, and I just did level 1 Venom command grab. And then on his wake up, he tried to block. I did like down 2 tick throw, and at that point, I knew I was in his head because I got the first hit bonus. Haven't spent any meter yet. Hit him with forward 2 down. Took his first health bar. Things weren't good for him. Things just didn't go well for him. And then he lost. And I just had my hand just sitting out there, like, shake my hand. And then as soon as he shook, I said, "Well, at least you're going to make it to that panel on time."
That's how you do it, man.
And here's the thing. Some of y'all may have seen that I wore that Borderlands jacket. The one that says Hyperion on one side, and on the reverse, it's blue and orange, and it's for some other company in the Borderlands mythos. Believe me when I tell you, I've never played Borderlands. I don't give a fuck about Borderlands. I have never given a single damn about Borderlands. And you may be saying, "Then why did you get a Borderlands jacket?" Because at the beginning of the tournament, he said, "When I win, I want that jacket." And I remembered this, so I took the jacket that this asshole wanted just to flex on. I could have got something that I wanted. No, nah. Give me the jacket that the person that I don't like was eyeing. That was the most amount of petty I have been at a convention. And I took that jacket and I immediately put it on and I wore it for the rest of that day. And
That's how you got to do it, man. Make a statement. Like, don't you, like, hurry it up, sir. Yo, come on, man.
Legit, he would have won the tournament as long as he didn't say, "Hey, bro, hurry this up." He literally had that jacket was his. That jacket was literally had his name on it.
He could have won the tournament if he wasn't sitting here like quitting halfway through. Like, come on, man. Like anything could happen.
Well, no, because he got super tilted because I actually started. He's like, "He wasn't playing like this when he played me the first time." It's like, "You're damn right. I was trying to lose."
You don't know until you know, sir. You don't know until you find out, man.
That's the only that look. Even that was like a low grade, not real tournament. That is still like in my top 2 tournament wins of all time, just because it was fuck that dude o'clock. You think I cared about winning that tournament? I didn't want to be in that tournament. That's why I don't.
Exactly.
That's why I don't talk like normally, like, when people win tournaments, like people like, they talk about them. I don't even talk about when I enter tournaments or win the tournament. I don't talk about when I enter a game that I don't even care about and I get washed, or if I get surprisingly far. The only time I talk about a tournament is when I'm running the tournament and I want people to sign up, so I tell them that I'm running the tournament. You know,
I'll talk about a tournament when I'm salty. Like, hey, I should have done better. Why did I not? Why did this happen? You know what? Whatever.
Here's the thing. I think I've been blessed, and maybe it's also a curse. I've been blessed with the tournament gene of I can lose and be fine. Like, I don't get bothered about tournament losses at all. Like, I don't know if it's like I don't have a super competitive bone in my body. I don't know what it is. But for some reason, like when I like, the only time I can get angry is when it's laggy. But in an offline setting, if I lose, I'm like, all right, GG's. I don't care if it's like some random at Weenie Hut Juniors. I don't care if it's, you know, the greatest player you've ever seen. I don't care if it's your favorite player's favorite player. I don't care if it's your mother.
Because when you lose, though, like 9 times out of 10, you lose to someone where like you're expecting it. Like I remember the Injustice tournament at Gwinnett Brawl. I think like that was probably the last Injustice tournament I ever entered. Where that Catwoman player from like what was it, Alabama or something like that. The out of towner showed up and like you saw Catwoman and you were like, he's competent. You're like, there's no way I can win this. This is a bad matchup for Bane. And I was like, that doesn't mean that the man is a bad matchup for you. And then when you lost, you're like, hey man.
No. Let me tell you specifically about that. In that set, the glitch happened. And as soon as that happened, I was like, yep, it's over. So do you remember when because it was game 2 and I did forward 2 to try to chip him out, right?
Right.
And he did back 3 and none of us hit each other, but he recovered before me. And then he was able to hit me with forward 1. Because we were both like at 1 HP.
Right.
Because apparently, like, I got hit with Z-axis shenanigans in a 2D game.
Look, man, that's why I say always have a pocket character or always have a secondary, because it's like in a situation like that, it's like just play someone else, play a different character, or play your character
but you gotta
first.
remember, Justice is a game that I did not find fun enough to want to play secondary characters.
But the thing is, you had at least one secondary character at the time, and I knew that. That's why I was specifically like,
Joker versus Catwoman is probably worse than Catwoman versus Bane. And my Black Manta just does shit. Like that is my scrub killer character.
Yeah, but like you could so you could play that first to test the like whether or not the scrub kill works on the good player, because there are players who are like really like good at a game who lose to scrub killer stuff or scrub B stuff because they just expect their opponent to respect them all the time.
That's the thing though. You thinking about it too much. I'm just there because I just want to push some buttons.
I was thinking for you, man. I want you to win. That was your tournament.
Hey, man, I ended up winning AWA, and AWA paid me. So
I don't remember.
No, AWA.
Are you talking about the Injustice 1 or
the Injustice 2 one. The one that Data FGC held, where they also promised that we were going to run Tetris Attack. And then somehow they were like, "You want to play Puzzle Fighter instead?" And I was like, "No."
They didn't have the game with them or whatever. But like, I don't remember this Injustice tournament. Like, who was there in the Injustice tournament?
No, that was the one where there was I think it was summer. No, it wasn't summer. There was some other event that was happening that everybody else decided to go to that weekend.
Right.
Maybe it was Battle and Brew. I don't fucking remember.
It might have been Battle and Brew.
Because Trey Pound said he was going to come through, but he never came.
Right.
Because remember, that was the one where Data FGC had a stream set up, but for some reason the power in that corner of the room stopped working, so we had to use the other corner of the room with the B tier stream setup. Remember they called, like, the dude on commentary was like, actually Prion is actually an alchemist that calls mad cow disease.
Last Injustice tournament that I ever entered. This is when like literally my like experience with the game was that like I think 3 months prior, I went into training mode with Harley, and then I figured out like a really good like setup, like a meaty with her trait. And then I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then I just stopped playing the game afterwards. And then like because you were there and we were just chilling, I was like, okay, I'll enter this tournament. And I made like top 8 somehow I was like, I don't know why people are not teching throws because I was just tick throwing people most of the time with like Catwoman and
No,
stuff.
see, the thing that disgusted me about that tournament was there was a Red Hood player, and I was like, if he knows anything about this matchup, I should struggle. That man knew nothing about that matchup. Not a thing. And and these jokers let that man get second place.
Second place to you though.
Yeah, I know. But then there was the dude who was like cosplaying as like Man Cheetah and played Cheetah. I was like, oh, I was like, he got cosplay affinity, bro. This might be a problem. And then I watched him and he got mad. Like he literally he grabbed his controller like he was about to spike it. Then he just wrapped it up and said, "Four," and he shook my hand and he just left. I was like, bro, there's losers. My man didn't want to see losers, bro.
It's because you beat him pretty bad. Like you gave him you gave him the wop. So I was like, I understand why he's pissed, but like it's because he's not good enough, and like he doesn't know enough.
I mean, it's better than what was it, DreamHack Atlanta when the game first came out. Do you remember that?
Oh God, yes.
Do you remember the Swamp Thing player who like I swear he was about to call me the N word, bro? I thought we was about to have a physical altercation just now.
Like he looked like he was gonna like he was the type too. I was afraid. I was like standing right next to you. I was like I don't like this energy that's coming off of this dude while he's losing.
It's like don't worry, I'll fight him. Like, I might have to duff him up, but you know it is what it is. Show him that the matchup is not only 10-0 in game, but outside the game as well.
That's when like Katana Prime was like he wasn't doing our pool, but he was doing like a pool like close to it or something.
No, he was doing our pool, but like me and it, like when I'm at if I know who my TO is. When they're like, what was the score? I put up my hand, I say, I won, and I tell them the score, and that's it. I'm not talking to you no more. That is it. It's over. That's as far as our relationship needs to be. I'm not trying to distract you because I know when I'm running a tournament, I hate it when random people come up to me because this is before me and Katana Prime have had any exchange of words. I hate it when random people come up to me when I'm trying to do my job and people just keep talking to me.
That's when the tournament ran it ran much longer than it was supposed to, and then Tekken started. And lucky for me, I was in both tournaments. I was like, oh, Tekken's starting. I just need to walk over there for my pool. And it was just like, okay, but Injustice is not done, and they need these setups for Tekken. And it's like we didn't expect it to run this long, and I'm like, okay.
So yeah, I lost 2-3 to a Poison Ivy player, and then I lost to Janiti's Firestorm because he hit me with some disgusting reset, and I looked at it. And I was like, God didn't want me to win. All right, I'm out at 17th. All right, I'll take that. I think we had like 140 entrants. I was like, I'll take 17th. Whatever, I'm good. And I enjoyed the rest of the weekend.
I literally don't remember my tournament run there, but I think I got like 30 something. And I was like, I was like, I'm surprised I did this well. Because I think at the time, that was around the time I was like stopping with that game. Like I would go into training mode. I would like try to do some like Poison Ivy things and like Harley things, and then I would turn off the game. Or no, I was trying to do oh my god, Canary things and like Canary like combos and whatnot. And I was like, oh, this is really cool.
Yeah,
this setup
Subtle Fraudulence is he's the only dude I know that's picked up Injustice about 4 or 5 times and then dropped it like 4 or 5 hours into picking it up again.
Look,
my man be like, all right, baby, I'm back. Labs once. Yeah, all right, I'm good.
I spent all this time like labbing stuff with Canary, and then like I got to like a real match, and I was like, how do I hit him? And then I was like, you know what? I don't want to struggle, so I'm gonna stick to like Injustice 1 characters that I played, and then stick with that. And Catwoman was just getting me places for some reason, so I stuck with Catwoman, and then eventually I just like I went back to like playing. Or I was like more focused on Tekken because I was getting more results from that. That could have also been around the same time Marvel Infinite was consuming my life, which I'm sorry. Like I had a good run with that game. The game was nice, and then it was less nice, and now
Team upset.
Marvel 4, right? It'll come. It'll happen, right? Oh,
I don't believe you. I'm gonna just say it right now. I have no faith.
All right. Well, I like Marvel 3. That's a very great video game too. So,
I mean, I agree with you. I agree that Marvel 3 is it's a great video game. It got so much better in Ultimate, but I mean, holy shit. Also, I'll admit, I think Marvel 3 might be the best. I mean, y'all may not think but I think might be best visually pleasing fighting game to spectate. I don't know. There's
Yeah.
just something about it where I'm like, man, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, I honestly can't think of another game that gets close to it besides like Marvel 2.
I'm trying to think. How many? All right, I went to go look up the Smash page.
Mm-hmm.
Who ended up winning?
Ended up winning what? DreamHack?
Okay, Forever King won. Trey Pound got fourth. Tsunami V got fifth. Actually, fuck, did I lose to Tsunami? I dead asked.
Is this AWA or is this
No, this
no,
is
no, no. This is DreamHack. This is
this
definitely
Dream.
DreamHack. Because Forever King has only been in Atlanta for DreamHack and that MK that Earthrealm dojo.
No, I lost Needy and
And final round.
Lupon third, but not spelled how you.
Right. That's when I found out that not Catwoman, Poison Ivy versus Bane is a bad matchup for Bane.
Because remember, this is before I got my 7-frame jab. This is day one shit Bane.
You're right.
This is when I couldn't interrupt the fucking thing. Yeah, it was kind of. But yeah, see, wanna know what's funny about Lupon the Third? My man got 13th in both the Street Fighter V tournament and the Injustice 2 tournament.
Ah, that's funny. That name is so familiar. Like, but yeah, that's funny.
But I'm pretty sure I've seen that name before, and I've seen that name since. I just don't know where I've seen it.
I haven't seen that name, like I haven't seen or heard that name since, but it's always like really familiar to me as like I know who this person is, but I'm gonna forget.
Like that. Like that. But yo, it's been 2 hours. We'll get to the nitty-gritty con stories next time. Yeah, you know, tournaments are fun.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys about
meet some weird
the
people.
Marvel tournament that I entered at a con where I lost to one guy on stream who was like a competent player, and then nobody called me for my match. Nobody witnessed any matches with me, and an incompetent player just told someone that he beat me, and they just went like, "Yeah, cool." And that guy made it to grand finals against a guy that I beat first round. So.
Yo, con tourneys are wild, bro. Con tourneys are wild. Like when we run them, smooth.
Mm-hmm.
When it's just two dudes and a laptop, nah, bro.
No, man.
The two dudes and a laptop tournaments, nah, bro. Those are the ones where it's like issues aplenty.
Yep, that's when I lost all hope because the next year, that was the year Justin Wong came to Georgia for MobileCon. So yeah.
Nah, you know what was wild? All right, this is a little quick one. This is when I knew I would never enter another tournament at AWA, bro. We entered Dragon Ball, and they had 2 setups, 2 for a 60-something man bracket. But these setups were on like HD plasma televisions with a whole bunch of input lag.
In a hot ass room.
And a bunker with no AC. Like they didn't even have fans in there, bro. Like we were downstairs in the basement into an old like theater room that they used to have. And like, bro, it was like 200 degrees down there. And it was so hot down there that one of the PS4s just like, it melted on the inside because we heard in the middle of the fight, tank. And in the, and they couldn't turn it back on. So then you had to run the rest of the bracket with like 40-something players left on one setup. And you know what I said to that? You know what?
Peace.
Y'all got it. Y'all
I don't like this game that much.
Y'all got it. And they were like, man, you gonna let yourself get DQ'd? And I said, y'all be here at 1 a.m.
I think that's when I quit entering Dragon Ball tournaments, actually. After that, I was like, this is the last one.
Yeah, you know what? I think that might be the same for me. I mean, I've entered tournaments since then, but not for Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball, like, as soon as that happened, I was like, nah. Some people may ask us, how come you, well, Kaiserith, how come you always seem to enter like Dragon Ball or, all these fighting game tournaments at, anime conventions and the like? And it's like, because after the tournament and before the tournament, there's so much stuff to do there that it's amazing. At most fighting game tournaments, most of the people I know only want to do one of two things after the tournament or before the tournament. They want to go somewhere outside of the venue to get some food. All right, cool. And then they want to go to the room and play the game that we just played in the tournament. I do not want to do that. I do. Let me scream from the heavens. I do not want to continue to play the game that we just played in the tournament in the room with the people who I will then have to play in the tournament. No, I do not like that. That is not something that is interesting to me.
Majors are apparently where it's at when it comes to that. Majors are where a lot of people are like, actually, let's go to the bar and like chill, or let's like get some drink. Let's have like a party, an after party, and like chill there instead of like playing. And then maybe there's a setup there, but that's for the people. That's for the like group of people you're talking about who just want to play the game afterwards, and then everyone else can actually like have fun and like like mingle and whatnot.
But it is what it is. But yeah,
Hmm.
hopefully we'll be able to run some more tournaments once this whole COVID thing's over. And yeah, this has been Clout.WAV episode 31, signing out. I mean, unless you got something.
Oh, I just want to say the internet was a mistake, and look out for videos that will come out very soon.
You heard the man. Very soon. Cheers.